Are you ready?
G'day everyone. Here.
Sorry, is that me? That's me.
At least I know the sound's working.
Because I thought children don't fall from the sky and all of a sudden are 8 years old and build Legos.
No, I'm not. Honest, I'm not.
Backlog doesn't mind sitting there a little longer.
Thing sitting there. It's on the landing. It's in the hallway. It's. It might not mind sitting there, but I trip over it every so often.
People real careful.
Exactly.
That's such a good idea. Do Rebels versus Stormtroopers or something, and then I can have it in an every Lego Star Wars mock or something.
We should have possibly Brigger Picks. Sorry, joining us a little bit later on. Same thing, just backwards.
Yeah.
I see how you're moving it so I can't reach.
No, oh, come on, these videos are cheating. Because they've got way more Lego in play. That's
mock here. And I've got my mock there. And Stranger Things set there. Not very organised.
I have to show you this. Oh, no. I have to show you this. No, I have to show you this. This is what Isn't that amazing?
Because this is the first ever time I've been on the live, I didn't want to build anything too big or have anything too complex. So I'm going to attempt to build that.
Get him some wings.
He's so cool. No, I don't want to be a chicken. Don't make me a chicken.
G'day everyone, and welcome along to this Thursday night where we are in the world. It could be some morning, evening, or afternoon, wherever you are. And every week we try to build a little bit of Lego or some construction blocks and chat with some friends and just catch up and touch base and just chill and relax. And a shout out to the replay gang. Again, as I seem to say every week, that more people seem to be watching the stream after the fact, so hello to everyone out there. I really appreciate that. And the usual sort of stuff, which I sometimes forget. Share, like, and subscribe. And then on YouTube, at least, we have a poll going, which I think is, which set would you rather prefer to purchase, which is the Ninjago City Markets, which is coming out, or the recently released Batman Batcave in terms of being announced and things like that, and they'll be coming out soon, so we can get in and have a little bit of a chat about that. And I think other than that, I'll get in and usually have to have a sponsor, just get through, give them a little bit of a plug as such, helps pay for a few little things. This video is brought to you by McCatsim Holiday Homes in Margate and Broadstairs. Great for a week's holiday or a weekend escape, being just over an hour east of London, UK. Treat yourself to amazing sunsets, a Lego wall, or great food. Visit www.mccatsim.com and mention this YouTube video and we'll look after you. And yeah, as I always say, if you are watching this back and leave a comment down below, we'll give you a shout out on the next one. So thanks very much to Brian's Bricks, who's again watched it and left a comment there. Always appreciate then you do a bit of the watch back later on. And I think with that, we'll start getting into bringing some people. And someone who I sort of obviously go through and promoted the stream and that, and they actually helped promote it and did some graphics for it as well there, which I thought was fantastic. So welcome along, Trevor. How are you going this evening?
Good evening, everybody. Or good morning, whichever part of the world you're watching from. I'm very well, thank you. How are you, Matt?
Yeah, going well. So I think like you sort of get to the end of some of these days and you're just like, oh, can't wait to just sit down for a few minutes and build some stuff. Sounds like you've had a pretty busy week as well.
Yeah, busy week, and this is the perfect opportunity to join you. And thank you for having me on again, by the way, Matt, to build some Lego, chill out with some friends, and just have a good old natter, chinwag. I really do look forward to it.
That's what we want. Yeah, that's what we sort of like. I mean, as I sort of say to you guys, sort of backstage and things like that, this is just a glorified excuse for me to allocate some time to get through the backlog. So it's always great when people come along and we can just natter over whatever's happening during the week.
You're right.
So, and speaking of that, I think on the we're having a bit of a chat backstage earlier, and it's sort of like this weekend's going to be one of the few in May that we actually don't have a long weekend as such. And the reason that sort of came up is because in Germany, apparently they have a public holiday or something like that. Well, Nicole at least has been off. How are you doing, Nicole?
Hi there. How are you doing?
Going very well as such. So it sounds like you've had a nice relaxing day at least.
At least today. No traveling today. 2 days ago I traveled. Loads of stories that I could tell about that. But today I had a public holiday, and I just realized I have no idea what kind of public holiday it was. Oh God.
It's just, you didn't have to go anywhere or do anything. So
exactly. That's the only thing that I remember. Don't go to work. Yeah. Best holiday
yeah,
ever.
I remember one time doing that, sort of got up and started getting ready and everything like that, and halfway out the door, and then I realized it was like a Saturday and it was only a 9 to 5, a Monday to Friday. It's like, wait a minute, something's not right here.
Right. Oh. Can you imagine on your way to work, just wondering, no one's on the street, best day of my life, everyone seemed to have gone before me, and then at the office, no one prepared coffee. That's insane. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, no, exactly. So, and shout out to Stud Sidious. Sure, it looks great in grey, and these are all blacks.
I'm actually wearing one that Stud designed. Yeah,
Wow.
I was going to say that looks like one of Stud's designs. Yeah, because he likes doing those mashups, and that was always a very cool one. Sort of taking the classic space and adding the Star Wars bent to it.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's a top quality T-shirt as well. It's lovely to wear. So well done to you, Stud. Well designed. Quality.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh, excellent.
That's amazing.
Might have to...
I really have to check that out, because I only knew that Rich has a store. Oh, he doesn't have a store, a merchandise opportunity. But I didn't know that Stud has that too. That's amazing.
Yeah, no, he does that, and then he does his main sort of day job, I believe, is sort of doing his own business where he does designs for the American football teams and things like that, like merchandise and mashups and things. Yeah, it's sort of his Lego sort of one. I'm sure I butchered that, so he'll probably DM me later going, no, this is how you promote it. So,
oh, that's funny.
That's cool. And so, yeah, great to have you both in. And joining us today, someone who popped up in the chat last week and was having a look through some of their videos during the week, and they did an awesome sort of up house and sort of doubling it up sort of thing. And there's been some other interesting little ones and some lights and that sort of style of video. So get them in, and welcome along to Maxine, aka Bonnie's Bricks. How are you going?
I'm very good. Hi everyone. Thank you so much for having me on. I was so pleased to get your message, Matt, to invite me on the stream. I'm usually just like in the chat, just trolling everyone and just getting involved. So it's lovely to be here. And hi to everyone in the chat as well.
That's incredible.
Yeah, no, it's because I think the thing which you just noticed is you've been doing obviously you've got your own YouTube and you've been doing stuff, but you were originally, you had a name change recently?
Yes, so a lot of people aren't letting me forget about this. So basically I was originally called Lego Lassie. No, it's fine. But yeah, getting into this hobby of Lego, I wasn't really thinking too much of, actually becoming a content creator. I'm not really very good with social media. I never have been. I'm not really active on it on my personal channels and things like that. But when things started to kind of take off a little bit, I was like, oh, this is actually quite fun. But obviously you're not supposed to use things like trademark names in your own personal usernames and things like that. So I had to change it. But I still wanted it to have, as people can probably tell from my accent, a Scottish twang to it. So Bonnie Bricks was just a kind of sensible alternative, because it still obviously suggested to people that I was doing Lego for my content. So yes, a lot of people still tease me for it, saying, how could you have got that wrong? But it wasn't something I thought of to begin with. And it turns out there's a few people that tease me for it, but they did it. They admitted to me that they did it years ago. So it's fine. But yeah, I'm quite liking the new name though. It's nice.
Yeah, I think it's the sort of thing. It's a difficult one, because there are some people, particularly on Instagram, which I know, which have Lego in theirs, and they've got quite big followings and everything like that. But I don't think they ever have any aspirations to LAN or anything like that. So it's sort of 6 of one.
I think it just depends. I think it depends how you want to take things. But I'm very open to what the future holds. So I just thought, if at least I change it nice and early, if anything does come up, like LAN or anything like that, big aspirations and all that. I've kind of got the ground, I've got a good baseline to start off with, and get the name ringing in people's ears out there. So yeah, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, because I saw that I think Lego Danny Bob, who then has now changed their name to Danny Bob Studios, she had built up quite a following, and then had applied to LAN, and they just sort of first of all said, no, you've got to change your name first, so do that and come back. So it's I think at that stage she had about 50,000 followers, and I think now she's up 125,000 or something. So it's it can be funny how those things work out. But no, that's great. And I've seen some of your favorite things are a combination of Disney and Star Wars. Would that be correct to say?
Yeah, definitely. So I'm definitely a massive Disney fan. Just for technicality out there, Star Wars is now technically Disney. So, but in terms of classic Disney, like I was and still am obsessed with Disney. Like I absolutely smash all my friends at Disney trivia games. Like the only thing I can't get quite right is like years of films. Like I'm just not good with numbers. But other than that, I probably know every single song out there off by heart. I'm just mad for Disney. So when I was introduced to Lego, my partner is to blame, and he told me, there's a big Disney castle set. And oh my goodness, it all just took off from there. So Disney is essentially the reason I'm into Lego. But Star Wars, I'm definitely into Star Wars as well. I'm just not, I wouldn't go on mastermind on Star Wars, put it that way. So those are my kind of two main focuses. I did start off saying I was Disney, Star Wars, Marvel, but I quickly learned, like everyone else probably here on the panel and in the chat, you can't collect everything when it comes to Lego sets. Unless you're lucky enough to win the lottery, that's just not feasible. So I kind of had to kind of downgrade, the themes that I was getting into, because I really love like the modulars as well and ideas sets. So Marvel kind of had to take a little bit of a backseat, unless it's a modular. But so yeah, I'm eyeing up Nicole's bugle in the background there. I don't have that. I'd love to have that. But yeah, so absolutely, it's crazy for Disney.
I think when I first stumbled across your channel, when it was called Lego Lassie back then, the first video I watched that impressed me was your knowledge for Disney was the Disney brickheads, and you did a fantastic review of them, and it was just your knowledge. It was fun to watch. It really was.
I'm glad you used the word fun and not weirdly nerdy. I did think that when I was editing it and reviewing it. I could just go on for hours talking about Disney stuff, but yeah, trying to cram it into a video to retain attention is a challenge. Thank you, Trevor. It's nice to hear that.
Yeah, it's although I suppose at the moment, give or take, Guardians of the Galaxy, being I'm a bit of a Marvel fan, but the sets that they've had out recently, there's been the occasional one like the Sanctum Sanctorum as the modular, which has been okay, but most of them, like, even though I've got the Black Panther one, it's sort of like, okay. It's like It's been a bit news.
There's just so much because the cinematic universe for Marvel, the multiverse now exists, and it's just you can go through rabbit hole after rabbit hole, which I think is why that had to kind of be the theme that went ultimately when we were deciding. Because I do collect my Lego basically jointly with my partner, which is why we can collect some of the bigger amazing sets that we can, because it's all joint, except for Disney. Disney's not mine. But yeah, we still made that decision. Like, he's into Marvel as well, but we just it doesn't help when May is creeping up, and obviously May the 4th the big Star Wars sets come out. But Marvel is still definitely on my radar. But I'd say it's more of a, I could probably count on my hands how many Marvel sets I would say has actually impressed me. But I don't think that's necessarily down to the set. I think it's just they're trying to cater for all interests, all themes, all age groups as well. I'm sure there are collectors out there, maybe in the chat as well, that their focus is Marvel, and they probably have a really great display that they've done with all their Marvel sets, and could probably tell us otherwise, tell us off for not being big Marvel enthusiasts. But yeah, I wish I could collect them all.
Yeah, I think the themes sort of move through phases of when they're having hits or when they're coming up or going down. Like, City, recently, like that's okay. It's always been a staple, but the latest wave, they're certainly trying new things, and that's working well. Then they brought on Monkey Kid. Dreams have come along. DC superheroes are sort of taking a bit of a backseat, but then you've had the Batcave coming out this week, so it sometimes kind of levels itself out a little bit. So
can you rephrase that to the Bat book, please?
What Trevor's thoughts are then. So, I know you can see we've got some Batman stuff there as well.
You picked up on it. We'll let you go first with it. The Batcave. What are your sort of thoughts?
I think it's a book. It looks like a book. I'm probably going to get a lot of stick in the chat for saying that. And I'm not knocking anybody who likes it, but to me, I wish they'd do something more the structure of a cave to call it a bat cave. I think it's going to be difficult to display it. I love the front, the way they've done it, with the bat symbol. That's really nice. And I think I would, if I was going to have the set, which I'm not, you could display it that way. But to open it out and then you've got the Batmobile in the middle, I just think, no, not for me. I don't like it. Sorry.
Yeah,
that's just my personal opinion. We don't like
it. It seems to be in a very polarizing set, and certainly when on any of the social media you go and have a look at and you look in the comments, it's very much like that. People sort of scratching their head, going, "Why?" And then other people, "Yes, it's wonderful." Yeah. So, Lady McBrick, what's sort of your thoughts on it?
I think it's brilliant for two reasons. One is that I saw videos of similar things from some other producers, and they did Harry Potter stuff in a similar way, like a book, as Trevor said, and it opens up, and then you have the platform 3 3/4 and a train. It looks amazing. Now Lego does that too, and I love it. And for a second reason is I already have a Batcave, and we already had a couple of Batcaves that I don't have. Now we get something which really, really looks cool, and in addition, it's different. Why would I need? For me, it would be a second Batcave. I could imagine that others have even more Batcaves selected. Now you have a Batcave, which is a display piece as well. Because with my Batcave, you cannot really display. I could display it, but it's with so many of Lego sets. They are not really display. They are nice, but rather play sets. And now you have a display set, which is cool and is different. That's why I like it. In short, that's why I like it.
So one against one loving it. So Maxine, Bonnie, what's your sort of take on the?
So I've got to be the one that basically waves the score one way or the other, maybe. I actually need to look at the pictures again because I have seen it, but it's funny because I've really not thought about it. So yeah, it does look like a book, but what you were saying about it having the nice opening, Trevor, I wonder if that is because they're trying to think of a way to kind of give dual display potential for the set, so people can open it up and obviously have all the interior details to play with and display. But I don't know, I would be very tempted if there is the kind of bat signal silhouette opening to the front of the book. I mean, surely it's a given that you're going to be shining a light through that to sort of project onto your wall or something. Like, I can't think why they would otherwise do that. Like, why else would you have that big silhouette right there? The reason that I've thought of that is because, was it 2 years ago? We carved like a pumpkin for Halloween, and we did like that idea with the light. And that's what I was thinking of there. But
although it's the same old thing.
If you can do that, because I think there is not enough depth in it. With the sets that I saw of the other who made these Harry Potter bookish sets, with that one, you can look inside. With the other books, when it's closed, up front you could see the train, but not much more, and there's light in it. And the other sets, there is definitely light in it. With that one, if you display it square, you can open it up, and there are little things to do with and little treasures inside of it. But if you just display it, you have the sign just as a silhouette.
I think it's going to be one of these sets that we need to see in person to really understand how it's going to display.
I agree. I've seen sets as photographs and think, no, that's not for me. And yet when I've actually seen them built in real life, I'm thinking, I like that. So I agree with that. Yeah, it's hard off a photograph to really tell whether you're going to enjoy it. Or
something else that I heard already about this set, which made me think, which was a really good point, is the quality of the pieces, because it's all black. Now imagine if the quality of the pieces isn't there and there are different shades of black. Would it then look as nice as we all hope?
Yeah. I suppose, would that add to the effect of the wall, though? Like, if it's supposed to be in a cave, you know, they could maybe play on that, but...
Yeah.
I think for me, it was one of those ones where we saw a couple of leaks first, and I think with the way that the leak photos came out, it didn't give you a really good impression on it, and it was then really easy to say, what's that? It's bad, it's this, it's that, it's whatever. Once I saw the official photos and what it was, I'm really still torn on this one, because I can see both sides. In terms of them going for the 1992 Batman Returns film, that's an interesting choice. That's something which I saw in the cinema as a kid and enjoyed all that. So there's all that nostalgia kind of bent and things like that. The silhouette is an interesting idea. I think as when Jang sort of made comments on it, if they're going to do that, you know, it's meant to be one of these shadow boxes and things, but it's going into like a black background or something, and it just screams out for a yellow or an orange or something like that to help pop it out. And then much to what you were saying, Maxine, in terms of, I think if you're putting yellow lights into it, behind it, that's probably really going to make a huge difference with it. It's the figures, from what I can remember, the legs and arms don't have printings, I think, or maybe the arms do or something. Like it's certainly not. It's interesting looking at it as a premium sort of set, and then where they don't have some of these printings and that, and then you look at something like Dreams, and they've just gone to town with them, and they're relatively cheap price sets. Okay, yes, get economies of scale and all that sort of good stuff with it. But then in terms of an actual Batcave, if you want a Batcave, yeah, I guess while it's kind of secondary, and there is a lot of brick in the actual building and the wall and that, and the play features. So it's, I think very much what you're saying. It's going to be one of those ones where you're going to need to go and look and see it. I thought it was interesting when it seemed that the press kits originally had it about £50 or $50 more than what it's finally come out at. So
I did see something about that. That's funny. It's funny that was changed, because I think I watched a video from Brixie earlier that he said, oh yeah, I got a pre-press release price and now it's different. So maybe just the initial feedback from people influenced it, I guess.
I'm not sure. Do we know the measurements? Because on the pictures it looks massive.
I think they're saying, like, when you've got it, because it can sort of fully open with a little car sticking out the front. When it's fully open, it's about 1 meter. So it is, so, you know, what's that, 3 feet or a bit over. So, you know, it's going to have some length to it. I think as a bat cave, okay, yes, you've got a Batmobile in there. Yes, it's a little bit of a newer type one, but it's sort of like, when I think of Batcave, you know, if you're going to do that, it's sort of like, well, have a Batwing in it, have the giant penny, which is the sort of thing with Batman, possibly the T-Rex. Like, it kind of was missing a lot of those elements. So, but I can kind of get it in terms of being more a display as such. But it seems to be a lot of bricks for something that's small. And I mean, have the 89 Batmobile, the big one, which came out a few years ago, and that was brilliant and fantastic build and everything like that. So I think Studs are saying, who am I kidding? Buy it, build it, break it down to parts. If you're into black, yeah. So, and certainly it could be one of those ones that if it does become really polarizing, we could see it on sale sooner rather than later. So.
I wouldn't.
That's what we're waiting for. That's what we're waiting for. Yeah, because we've already started collecting a lot of the Batman stuff because we're both ecologists, me and my partner. And my partner is like a bat ecologist, so he is like sometimes known as Batman at a stretch. But so we have to collect all the Batman stuff. So I feel like this is on our radar, but not at the price at this moment. Even if we see it on display in the Lego store and it looks amazing, I think, yeah, it's like what Ben's Bricks is saying. It's a lot of black, unless there's like the really nice fine details in there to really make it pop for us. Otherwise it's just a lot of black and a few Batman details in there. But in saying that, Star Wars is very grey and a lot of their sets look fantastic. So I wouldn't say, you know, because it's a lot of black, that should be a reason maybe to down the set, I guess. But yeah, when does the set come out? Does anyone know off the top of their heads? Because so I know when to go to the Lego store. And
is it 5th of June? I think.
I think it's June, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like a couple of weeks away. So again, it's one of those, you know, here comes a pricey set, and if you wanted to get it day one, yeah, you've better have had your budget in place. Like,
yeah, it's not too cheap.
So
the problem is not the price in itself. The problem is rather that I have Rivendell waiting for me. Theoretically, I like Lion's Castle as well. Then there's the market. So many are already on the list.
It's hard when that happens, isn't it? What one is at the top of your list, though?
That's
like, which one is there at the top?
That's the question. Theoretically, Rivendell, but Lion's Castle is rather. I'm wondering how long it takes for Lion Castle to be retired. So would it be theoretically, strategically better to buy Lion's Castle first before Rivendell? Unless Rivendell is retired, and I will never see a Lego Lord of the Rings set in my life again.
Yeah. Are they bringing out more Lord of the Rings this year, though? I thought they were. Or did I make that up in my head in a dream?
I don't, not that I recall seeing, and I don't recall seeing any leaks. I think the Lion Knight's Castle, it seems to have done quite well, and like at a high price point. So I would imagine that's probably going to stick around for quite some time because, you know, everyone clamors for Castle. You know, it's a good piece to price ratio, all that sort of thing. And I mean, it's got about a year's head start on Rivendell, and Rivendell in general seems to be well received. Okay, yes, it's got a high price point. So it could be the sort of thing where they both retire at like in 3 or 4 years' time. Like I could see both of them sticking around for quite some time.
Yeah, I hope so.
So, but then probably in the meantime, they'll bring out a whole bunch of other sets. You just go, oh, I really want that.
Right, like Gringotts.
Yeah. And what else we got going on in the chat there? Stud, I think, is saying, always interested in new ways to use hinges and modulars. Curious to see if they need a new technique for that. Yeah, and particularly the way that sort of comes and opens up. And then Ben's Bricks, Venator. I'm just trying to think, is that... I've heard the rumors of it. Has there actually been any official things on the Venator yet?
I haven't heard it.
Still, yeah. Rivendell blows lines castle. In my opinion, build experiences. Rivendell is way better. Yeah, I think it's got some really interesting techniques and everything like that. But it's about 100. Is it like £100, €100 more expensive? So
Right.
Tiago said even Rivendell best build experience is 10. The best is great. Yeah, so I think part of it comes down to strategically buying in such a way that you don't miss out on both depending on their retirement dates.
Right.
And yeah, certainly. Stud, have you actually got it and build it, or are you just seeing what other people have commented on? So yeah, cool. All right. I think one of the topics we sort of started talking about backstage, which I thought was interesting, was social media and just in terms of being on different platforms and how we're sort of doing things. And I think there was a Tally Brick Click interview. It may have been, I think it was last week's one, and basically their point of view was, well, YouTube, I'm able to get some money for, so I just recycle my content onto Instagram and TikTok because they're not paying me, sort of thing, basically. And I thought that was an interesting sort of take. Maxine, you were sort of commenting earlier this about how you've been on the different ones, and Instagram seems to have plateaued a little bit. What's your sort of thoughts around the different platforms in which you prefer?
Yeah, it's a hard one because I think it all has to be kind of taken into perspective, though, because you'll have different types of audiences on different platforms. So I'm being very kind of generic here, and I'm not saying this rule applies to all, but generally, I suppose TikTok and Instagram, on the whole, you would usually get maybe a younger audience, and then YouTube is very universal. I would say, all age groups and backgrounds are on YouTube. And Twitter, I think, is quite universal as well. I might get badgered in the chat for saying all this, but so I guess that also should maybe influence the kind of content you then create on these platforms as well. So like what I was saying backstage before, like because it's so hard to manage multiple platforms, you do kind of get into can I just like reuse this for this platform? Because also the platforms make it easy for you to do that. So what we were talking about with YouTube Shorts and TikTok and Instagram Reels, they make it so that you can download these and put them onto other platforms, but they are cheeky in that after you've done it, they kind of put a little watermark in there. So on my YouTube Shorts, sometimes it'll say Bonnie Bricks TikTok on there, so people know that actually this has come from TikTok. It's not a YouTube Short original creation. But yeah, it is hard. Like I think unless you are lucky enough to be able to just be a content creator, if that's what you want to do as a full-time gig, I can't see any way around it. Either you're kind of committing to one platform most of the time, or you're just kind of dabbling into other ones every now and again. But it is hard. My Instagram, I would say, plateaued. That's not really probably Instagram's fault, as much as I did blame Instagram for it earlier. It's probably me just not posting as much. But yeah, because I've been focusing on my YouTube content, because that's just a whole other learning curve for me. Instagram, I think, in like comparison, you just take photos and you just make them look pretty, and it's a little comment or caption here and there. But YouTube, it's so much work. Like, I mean, Trevor, your videos, oh my gosh, I don't know how long it takes you to do some of those, but the amount of time you really need to commit, I guess, to more other platforms more than others, I would argue.
Yeah, I agree, because I use Instagram as a way of promoting my YouTube channel, if you like, because I noticed that when I'd done an upload, people weren't getting, I think they're getting notifications now, but there was a spell where people weren't getting notifications when I'd done an upload. So I used Instagram to do a little bit of advertising through the reels and the stories, and that with a link that brought my audience over to YouTube, and that I think they're both growing. I know yours on Instagram, it just shot up, especially when you did that giveaway.
Everyone loves free Lego.
Everyone loves a giveaway. If you certainly want to grow something quickly, do a giveaway, and when you're doing it, if you're doing it live, really drag it out. Like, as soon as somebody wins, the views drop straight down.
No, but I noticed it was different for Maxine. She did the giveaway, and then I noticed that your YouTube channel was sort of a slow growth, and then that just exponentially went way up. So on the back of that,
I don't know. Are you my moderator, Trevor? You mean moderating things?
No. I was just looking at the early days, what subscription you had to YouTube, and I just know that grew after that. So
Yeah.
Matt's right. I think everybody loves a giveaway. I need to do a giveaway, don't I?
Oh yes, do. I'll enter.
Yeah, do, and just make it the UK only. Like,
oh no, don't do that.
Europe.
No, I made a point in mind though. Actually, to be fair, I mean, you know, up to people in their own situations, like, because it is obviously a lot of money to post some of these giveaways like abroad. But I don't know. I found it so frustrating when I was like following all these amazing content creators and really wanting to actually get involved. Like, I love engaging with the community. I love it so much, and obviously competitions are really fun and opportunities to engage with people. So when they would announce they're doing a giveaway and it was only in the States or only in Australia, usually just the States, but I would just feel so like, oh, I really wanted that as well. Like, it would make me feel so sad. So I was like, if I do a giveaway, I'm doing it international. So, but it just so happens the person that won mine was in London. So that, I guess, worked slightly in my favor, but I would have obviously posted it. Yeah, I think all my giveaways will be international because it just feels more fun. I don't know. You just don't know where on earth it's going to end up.
Yeah, it's the sort of thing where, particularly if it goes to Australia, something like that, like it might be a £20 Lego set and cost you like £35 to send it. Like, can I just give you a local gift voucher in the same currency? Like,
yeah, a lot of people do it that way. To be fair. I think it was more with mine. I kind of threw in some like extra little goodies here and there, like my own sig fig and stuff like that. I like the personal touch to it, but I can totally understand why people do it that way because sometimes it kind of works out more value than the set. Yeah.
Right, especially with at least with a giveaway, people know what they are getting. But if it's a raffle and there are several prizes and they end up with something that they in the end not even want, like, okay, I would have liked that. Now I get that set. Great, I will part it out.
Yeah, my fear is that someone would just win all these goodies and then just sell them on or something like that. It fleetingly, very, very fleetingly crossed my mind to think, should I like open everything? So it's like not sealed anymore or whatever. But
right,
obviously I didn't do that. But
sneak in a note. Okay, this is my Instagram account. If you purchase this, please contact me. Not that I have ever done that.
I just have faith. I have faith. And just get to enjoy their sets. But obviously, when I say gift it, like I'm talking about like if they wanted to give it to a friend or family member, then fair. But because like my giveaway had like different themes in it, because I just wanted to make sure that whoever won it, there was something in it that they would enjoy.
Yeah.
But yeah, if they obviously give it to family and friends, then that's lovely. But like, please don't just sell it.
Oh, it would be especially bad if your minifig, your sig fig, would be sold.
Yeah, unless it was like some cool trend thing where it went on eBay for like loads of money.
Right.
I'd be like, ooh.
Yeah.
I don't think that would ever happen, but I've got like another 30 in the drawer. It's not exclusive yet, so.
Right.
But,
it's when they sort of come back to you with, can you also send a certificate of authenticity with it? It's like, I wonder what they're doing with it. And then, yeah, so just as a aside, the Mythica Lego set is a sleeper. The Winged Lion build is very fun. It's funny about that because the kids today, they're much the same. They're sort of like really into that, the Mythica set, and it's sort of like, why are they not doing more on this? Why don't they make it a whole line? Da, 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 da. And sort of like trying to explain that it's just based upon, so far, it's a ride in the UK. I'm not sure whether they've done it in other Legolands. But that could be an interesting one, which then leads on to the next sort of topic. We had the Dreams TV show sort of drop during the week. I think, Trevor, I saw that you'd been watching some of it. What are your sort of...
sorry. It's Broken Dreams. Oh, sorry. Yes, I did. Me and the boys, we watched it one evening after tea, just the first episode. I need to watch more, I think, to get into it, but it was okay. I enjoyed it.
Okay, then. Because mine were, once they started seeing it, particularly the youngest one, that, once they found out it was sort of like released and everything like that, they're sort of like, can we watch it? Can we watch it? Can we watch it? So we sat down and, last night we watched a couple episodes and watched a couple more today, and they're fully into it and everything. So, Nicole, have you sort of watched it yet or seen some of it?
No, unfortunately not.
No, okay.
No.
Is it something that you got on your radar, or just too many other things at the moment?
Too many other things. There is still Picard that I need to watch. I still haven't watched Strange New Worlds. I saw now that there is on Amazon Babylon 5 and Queer Eye. There is a new season of Queer Eye.
It sounds like it might be struggling to get into the top 10 of shows you need to watch.
Right.
Is that, or you can console yourself? It's sort of like I'm not getting subjected to an advert for more Lego sets for half hour.
Right. Not that this will save me from buying these sets, but maybe not all of them.
Yeah, it's that's been the funny thing as we've been watching it. I mean, we won't go into any real spoilers or anything, but certainly whenever the kids are seeing something on the TV, it's like, oh, that's the Lego set. Yeah, can we get that one? It's just like, it's like, when is it coming out? And usually with them, we're sort of a bit, it's like, yeah, we generally don't pay full retail. So once it goes on sale and sort of thing, so it's like, oh, so it's going to be like August, but then it doesn't go on sale for 6 months, so it's going to be another like sort of thing. And Maxine, have you sort of watched any of it? Is it on your radar?
So I will be honest, I thought this was going to come up in the stream today. I was like, I wonder if they'll talk about Dreams because it just aired. So I was about to watch it, but then I didn't because I ran out of time. But no, it is on my list of things to watch, especially because the episodes aren't that long, are they? Because I feel like it's hard with anything to get into it if the first episodes are like really long. But I don't know if I'm gonna like it. I think some of the sets that I've seen look amazing. Just like not knowing anything really about it. But I understand the concept that, they wanted to go with a dreams, having dreams at night, and this has caused all these fantastical things to be created in someone's mind. But I just don't know if I like the look of how they've done it. So like this whole, the sand timer and all that kind of thing. I don't know. And there's like a pencil involved, which makes me think they're drawing something. I don't know if they're just going to do it quite the right way. But then I'm reminding myself it's obviously more for kids. But I'm a big Disney geek and I like kids stuff. So, but I'm going to give it a chance. But yeah, like Nicole, I think I've got my eye on some sets, but probably not them all. But I would be very interested if some content creator or someone just collecting Lego actually did try to like collect them all and make some kind of big display with them and play with them. I think it would look pretty cool. But yeah, like you, Matt, I'd probably wait until maybe they go on sale as well.
Yeah, it's the only time it's sort of like day one is if there's a good GWP or something with it that can sort of subsidize it, or it kind of makes it worthwhile, or like that. Yeah, I suppose, as I sort of said, because of the kids and the way they've been into it. And I guess the last sort of theme like this, which came out as an original theme and whatever, was Hidden Side a couple of years ago. And, we went through all of that. The problem we found with that was a combination of it being app-based and then also, too, the packaging. Like, even when we've still got some on the shelf and that, and it's like, you can't actually tell what ones are what at a quick glance. It's like you got to pull it off. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, it's that one. Like, but it looks like it's really catering to a wide sort of diversity of things, because people will gravitate to different sets. So I think they've done about 10 or 11 of them. And you sort of see when people are saying, oh, yeah, I'm interested in those 3 or these 4 or whatever. And there's generally not much of an overlap. It can be really specific to individuals. And then in terms of the printing and some of the colors, and they're using a lot of these little round, large macaroni pieces in lots of different colors, and doing mocks for trees and things like that. They're just brilliant for that sort of thing, because they're usually quite expensive. So I guess that's going to come there. So I guess in terms of the actual sets, I think we'll eventually pick some up. Trevor, do you think that's something that you're looking at, or?
I'm talking myself out of them. No, I do like some more than others. I like that ship. I think that looks cool. I like the tree house, the way that you could do. I like the way they've done different builds, so you can build it differently. I do like a few of them, but like I said, when I started collecting my avatar for the first wave, I'll just get the odd one or two, and then I ended up buying the whole set. And then I watched the new film, and I needed the second wave of sets, and I am one away from completing that set. So watch this space. I don't know. That's in another 6 months' time.
Yeah, it can be very much like that. So, and that was kind of funny, because after we watched a couple of episodes, I said to the kids, look, this is an extended advertisement for actually buying the sets. Yeah. And at first they sort of looked at me and said, what are you talking about? And then it's sort of like, okay, yeah, we get it, sort of thing.
It's very true, though, because people get tied into interested in buying things because they see it maybe in a film or in a TV series, or music videos with the BTS. Yeah, no, that's not right.
Yeah. It's interesting, since they had the BTS. It's interesting you bring that up. At least on my sort of Instagram feed in particular, seeing a lot of people doing now sort of music type ones or something like that. The one which springs to mind is, I think, is it Let Them Fly Lego. They're doing an X Factor one for, what's the boy band that started off on that? Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah.
That's really bad that I knew exactly who you were talking about.
But there's been that. I think there's been 1 or 2 now for Taylor Swift, and all that sort of thing. So, I mean, is it? Do people sort of think they kind of a bit like the Sonic one? It came out as Lego ideas, and then they went, okay, yeah, that's kind of working. Let's do it as a whole sort of thing. And then even to some degree, some of the sitcoms, okay, there's been a couple, but, they did the original Central Park, and then the Friends one came out. Maybe do it a different way. Is there a favorite sort of band or group that if that was done, then you would be there and buying it? I'm not sure who I'll pick on first. Lady McBrick. You could say a German one, and we'd have no idea.
Right. I should, in order to do that, I would have to name someone like Rammstein. I'm not really sure that Lego is going to do something for Rammstein. Do you know Rammstein? I should probably call it, as Germans said, Rammstein.
Rammstein. Okay. Then.
It's usually there are only 2 bands that one knows internationally, current ones, Scorpions and Rammstein. And there used to be Nena, 99 Air balloons? Luft balloons?
Okay.
I shouldn't talk about German.
Yeah, no. Unfortunately, the only German one I know is David Hasselhoff, but that's for different reasons.
And he's not German. We would like to call him being German, but that's only wishful thinking. I don't think he has a German passport yet. But Ben Spriggs is right. Du hast. That's one of the N99 red balloons, right? See, I know my audience. But coming back to your question, I'm not really that into music anymore. A couple of years ago, I went to concerts and I really, really loved going to live concerts. I could imagine that I would have loved to have sets about it, but in order to really make sense, it probably would have to be a classic. I'm not up to date anymore. I would go to something like AC/DC or Pink Floyd, but I guess that's not the audience that BTS now speaks to, I guess.
No, it's but that's where I think it's a good one to get the intergenerational, because obviously you've had Rolling Stones in terms of that big tongue thing, and the Beatles in terms of the mosaics. So you've certainly
Yellow Submarine, Yellow Submarine as well. That set.
Yeah, that one looks really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that was going to be the next sort of thing. It's sort of thinking, if they, because the next one, which is there's lots of iconic sort of album covers, but the Sgt. Pepper's one, could you imagine if they actually did that with minifigures, like the one which got all the different characters and things? That would be kind of awesome. I think there'd be some copyright issues, but it's
right.
We can, and
nothing
that's,
that money can't solve.
Yeah. Who's a singer who's been struggling at their estate? Michael Jackson. Actually, no, it's probably a bad one, actually.
Right.
This is definitely an 18+ only set.
Right.
Maxine, is there any, I don't know if you're into music, or is there any ones that you would think that would be kind of cool to see?
Oh, I'm very, very much into music, but funnily enough, that makes it all the more hard to choose. I don't know. I do like the idea of doing like kind of more, because I think music isn't as good as it used to be. Like even before I was born, it was better. But actually, as you were saying that, I had like this weird idea. If anyone doesn't know what I'm talking about, I apologize. But at Christmas time, there is a very well-known meme that comes out starring Michael Bublé coming out of his cave when his Christmas album is played. Could that be one? Because I would buy that. I think there could be a really cool light kit and some music and sound effects, and the Lego would just incredible. And that could go in a winter village as well. So there's my if someone wants to create that and put it on a Lego ideas.
That's actually, just as you said that, is sort of like if you added in some sort of music to it, like that could be a nice little like whether it's kind of like a music box or something like that. Because when you said the Christmas one, the other bad one which jumps to mind is like a Mariah Carey one or something. You could imagine like something like that.
It would be so bad, it would be good. Like you would have to buy it just for like nostalgia's sake.
Yeah. They could do a minifig of Britney Spears with hair, without hair. Could be a shaved hair right away.
Was it, Matt? Was it the wave set that they brought out?
Yep.
Wasn't it the fact that there was a QR code and you could scan it and then you could download certain tracks of music that accompanied while you were building it? Am I right on that? So they have kind of incorporated music into a build there.
Yeah, no, they had on the original, the first sort of wave of mosaics, like I'm thinking the Iron Man one and the Darth Vader sort of Star Wars ones. There was sort of like podcasts and things that you could get, which went along with it for very much that sort of thing. But I think we got the Iron Man one. We listened to about the first 10 minutes, and it was just. It was horribly like sort of edited or put together. Like you just couldn't listen to it from the point of view of the content. The actual audio and everything was fine. It's just what they were saying was just it was kind of like this weird behind the scenes type stuff that you're listening to, and it was kind of all over the place, and you just sort of like, okay, yeah, we'll just put that away. That was a bad idea. But there was some of that. I can't remember, some of the other sets may have had, but yeah, having not got that wave one. I mean, does anybody else know on those what's been happening?
There definitely was something with the wave one, because we've got that as well, but we didn't listen to it. But, yeah, you would think there would be other sets with it potentially. Maybe people in the chat now. Yeah. They should push that more, but then I suppose that would maybe rack up the price of the set, because they need to pay the monies for the music rights.
Yeah, pay licenses, wouldn't they, and fees.
Yeah. I mean, that's
unless Lego want to create their own band and do their own original music. Maybe they'll do that for Dreams, and they can ask like people like us to volunteer. I feel like Trevor's probably got a nice voice.
No, thanks. No. I'll save my voice for the shower.
I was going to say, your boys will be there while you're in the shower, just sort of recording. You're like, what are you doing? It's for YouTube. Yeah, just make sure the camera's not on. Audio, yes. Video, no.
Right.
That's.
Unless you want to go members only. Like, okay, this is special content. You want a first treat? Just audio. Sign up as a member, maybe you get video too.
I'll stick to YouTube and Instagram. I don't think I'm quite ready for OnlyFans, Nicole. Thank you.
Only Trevor fans, yeah.
Let's call it AFOL fans. How we got into the topic of Trevor and singing in the shower naked for everyone? I'll take blame for, but I do apologize.
And then Ben's Bricks Design, yeah, only Bricks page. And a shout out to Brett's Builds. Hope that you're going well. Always good to see you pop along. And then I saw, I think during the week on your Instagram, some castle stuff, which would be really unusual for you. So hope that your current iteration of it is going well. And yeah, so Maxine, sort of, how sort of did you have Lego as a kid? Did you do a Dark Age? Did you just come back into how's you sort of approaching it or come into it?
I'm smiling because it's quite embarrassing. So no, I didn't have Lego at all as a child. Basically, I didn't realize Lego came with instructions. So I just thought people were like just amazing at Lego. And it was very inaccessible for someone like me to come along and just pick up this box and be like, oh yes, this is supposed to look like this. I can do that. No. So it wasn't until last July for my birthday, my partner bought me the small Disney castle. And I realized, oh, there's a book in here that tells you what to do. And then it all spiraled from there. So that's kind of partially the reason that it started, because I realized that it's so accessible for anyone to be able to do it. But also last July, I was 8 months pregnant in the heat of July. And even though I live in Scotland, we did have a heat wave and it was gorgeous outside, but I couldn't do all the other kind of more physical hobbies that I usually did. So I was feeling a bit down, and then my partner suggested, well, why don't you try Lego? It's probably the worst thing he could have said, because now here we are. And I went from little Disney castle to big Disney castle, and then, yeah, everything else after that.
I bet he's regretting suggesting it now in his wallet.
No, I think he's secretly enjoying it because it's an excuse for him to be able to say, why don't we buy Rivendell? And does that mean I can buy the Millennium Falcon because you've got the Disney castle? This kind of thing. Ooh. All of which happened. So, yes, here we are.
So, obviously then, if he's bought that for you and he has an interest, what's sort of, I guess, his sort of background? Has he kind of just had a few little sets lying around, or? So he had sitting next to me. He had Lego growing up, but I think it was just kind of bricks here and there. Yes, he's nodding. So I don't think it was. There will have been, I guess, sets, but
it was just general dabbling with bricks. It wasn't, you know, any kind of massive interest in it. I know his mum likes Lego. She collects a lot of botanical stuff. I wouldn't say his background is like a hardcore Lego fan growing up or anything like that. So he's kind of joined me on this slightly crazy obsession journey now because he's seeing how much I'm enjoying it, and it's just nice to get excited with someone else about this kind of stuff. So I find it so frustrating but hilarious at the same time when people are posting on Instagram that meme that you see, that reel that you see about 10 times a day, saying to your girlfriend, I'm going to go to the Lego store to buy Lego. Oh, this is what she says. And I'm like, that's me. Like, it's the other way around. So that's quite funny. But yeah, it's just nice to be able to do it together. Because, Trevor, I think you're getting your girlfriend into Lego, but she's not.
Oh, yeah. She loves the botanical ones. And she's got her eye on certain different sets that if she likes it, she wants to build it. And I actually love building with her. So like you say, it's something you can do together. And it's lovely because it's my hobby and she fully supports what I do anyway. And it's lovely to see her build with me. So yeah, I'm all for it. And it's a great way of unwinding and distressing, and it's lovely.
Yeah, and you can do it with
now
kids as well.
I don't have to water any plants because all our plants are, the botanical range.
Oh, this is what you bullied me about last time on this stream in the chat about my plants or something like this, or on a stream. I can't remember.
Oh, when you said your plants wouldn't survive or something. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Get the botanical range. You don't have to water them.
But it's the reverse with it because you can't put them in sunlight because after a while they start to fade. So it's like the opposite.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's something I had to quickly learn very, very early on when we started displaying all of our sets, is making sure it wasn't, because you kind of want to put them near the window and show off to everyone, but there's actually someone along the road that's got the Apollo set or something like that, and they've got it at their window, and every time I pass it, it just pains me because I can see it's no longer white. It's like a really horrible shade of yellow. Because it's always been at their window as long as we've lived here. So yeah. Like staining is a thing.
Because years ago I wanted to get the London Tower Bridge, and there was one on eBay, and it was going for a dirt cheap price because someone had left it in the sun, so it had all, rather than white, it had all gone yellow, and then the blue had gone to like grey and everything like that. So it's sort of like ended up getting it, and then when you sort of got it, it's like, yeah, this was sitting in the sun for a long time. But I just wanted the actual build experience, so it was, in the end, I think managed to pick up the whole set for like £30 or something because it's so bad. And then got to build it and then ran out of space. So then it went back on eBay and somebody then paid $100 for it. So it's like, okay, well, win-win-win. So like,
it's very lucky. I suppose if it's like a very, very retired set, then I suppose people won't mind as much. But yeah, in saying that, it's not something that's like stated anywhere, is it? About like from Lego, when you buy a set, keep this out of sunlight, is it? I don't think I've ever noticed it on any packaging.
And yeah, I've had my bonsai tree in the kitchen window for over a year now, and it's brilliant. It's still the same as the day I bought it.
But the bonsai is a lot of browns and greens and black. Although what sort of I guess foliage you have on it?
Yeah, I've done it with the blossom, so it's a lot of pinks on there.
Oh, okay.
So it seems okay. I like it in the kitchen window.
No.
Take a picture and then I'll take a picture of our one because we have it the same and we'll compare.
See if it's fading. Yeah, changing colour.
Well, it's something that I think they should tell people about because
well, if you think about it, everybody that buys the flower sets, really, they're going to get a vase and place it on a windowsill, aren't they? Sometimes. I mean, they've got sideboards, but a lot of people are going to place it in a vase in a windowsill, surely. So there's going to be a lot of faded sets of botanicals being sold on eBay in 10 years' time.
Unless it's strategy, so people rebuy it. I don't know.
Yeah. That's the other thing. It's sort of like, when they did the mosaics, you do like 4 different pictures. Okay, we'll get 4 of them. Or it's like the Star Wars one. We'll have a big Vader or something. Okay, you get 3 of them. Or
they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing.
Oh.
That's why they do these sets.
that's the thing which I sort of noticed a big difference between like now and when I was a kid is they would have a lot of alternate builds into all the sets, and it seemed to be more the sort of thing where you would actually do the alternate builds, whereas now they even have like okay, we make it a point to go, it's a 3-in-1 set. You can make other things out of it, and it's sort of like, well, once upon a time that's what used to be do by default. I guess with the sets that are a bit simpler, so you only had a couple hundred pieces, so taking something apart and remaking is quite relatively easy. Whereas these days, if you got 1, 2, 3, 4,000 pieces, you're not very inclined to spend the 10 hours, build it, and then take it down and do something else with.
Are you going to build your parrot, put it on your pirate?
Yeah, that was the original idea.
I'm so jealous you have that set. Oh my goodness. Did you go to Billund to get that, Matt? Or...
Yeah, we went last school holidays because it was originally we'd originally booked it for May 2020, which we all know what happened there. So the only downside, I guess, was the kids are now a couple of years older and they're sort of they're starting to go into their dark age a little bit. So I think had we done it a couple of years ago, it would have been completely magical and everything. So don't get me wrong, we all had a good time and enjoyed it. But yeah, it's certainly worthwhile going to. And we did the Lego house as well, which is obviously where we got that one from, and Legoland itself. And I don't know, have you ever been to Legoland Windsor?
I've not been fortunate enough. It was potentially on the cards for this year because I'm turning 30. And we're going on holiday down south for that. It was between like London doing Lego or Disneyland, but I haven't actually been around London properly, so we're going to do that instead. But we can't quite fit it in our agenda, unfortunately. But we were thinking we'll save that for actually when our wee one's a bit older, and we can take her as well for her to enjoy it as well. So like proper put money aside and really go for it. But, yeah. But I remember like growing up at primary school, like we didn't really get to go on holiday. We didn't have a lot of money, but it felt like everyone in my class every year there was 2-3 kids going to Legoland, and I never knew what it was. I was always just imagining, is it just a place with loads of really big bricks? I couldn't imagine it in my mind what it was. But yeah, one day I will get there.
One day, yeah. No, it's the only reason I was going to make a comparison was at least like the one in Windsor, particularly during school holidays or things like that, is just crazily busy. Whereas the one in Billund was, even though it was school holidays, admittedly it was the tail of it. It wasn't anywhere near as bad. Like you didn't have these ridiculous queue times for things, and it felt a lot more spaced out, even though it's probably a smaller park. But certainly, yeah, if probably in a couple of years, if you do end up going with your little one and things like that, certainly don't go on a school day sort of thing, because occasionally you'll get a school group, but the crowds will not be anywhere as crazy as other times. But it's certainly something to one day put on your radar. But yeah, probably for your kid, they'll probably get the most out of it if they're about 4 or 5. Just because they have the height restriction. Yeah, everything like that. So, but
it's not going anywhere, hopefully. So there's still time.
Okay then. Well, what I might just do then quickly is do the top 5 most expensive Lego sets for, is it 2014 this time? Usually by this stage, do you have any of these? But I think it's starting to become, do you even know of any of these? So let's have a quick little look and see.
Top 5 most expensive Lego sets, 2014 edition. Can you guess the most expensive? Number 5. Number 4. Number 3. Number 2. And And number 1. Did you guess this was the most expensive?
That price.
So, do we recognize any of those sets?
No, I
There's
don't.
the Simpson house. Was it the house?
Yeah, no, that was we did have that one. That was a really nice and clever build, and just the way that it's like a clamshell one, so the house actually opens up and everything, and then when it closes up, the way that they've got the floors and everything, it was really clever the way that was done.
I might have seen the sandcrawler before. I think, has there been a couple versions of that, or is that the only one that exists that I've then seen?
No, I think there's been a couple of versions, but that one is like obviously, I think it fell into the UCS range, and it was quite a desirable one. And I think at the time, that they didn't sell a huge amount of them. So, and I think it's also got at that time, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, the reddish brown that makes it up was a low quality, so a lot of the ones snap pretty easily at that time. So certainly, if you've had one and you've had it built and then you start taking it apart, you find at the time that it start cracking and all sorts of things. And then I'm just having a look there. Bonnie, because I think I've heard a little bit too. Are you far from your mic? Is the sound going in and out? Or?
No, it might just be. Is it while I'm moving a lot, or is it? I think it's fine. I'll keep an eye on it. The mic is actually a blue mic in front of me. Is it doing it right now if I keep talking and saying?
Yeah, it is.
I will check that just now for you. But thank you for letting me know.
Yeah, cool. It might just be one of those things: turn it off, turn it back in, unplug, plug in something. So, okay,
I'll try that now.
Wasn't sure if that was just me because.
But I thought the same, because sometimes it's just my internet going in and out, and that's why I'm hesitant to say anything, because everyone now then questions themselves when it's just me and my internet.
And then, it's good that you picked that up, Ben, because my internet is something wrong and just getting horrible lag, so I'm just never sure whether it's just me not hearing it and the lag in there. But that's why occasionally I might just drop myself out because it seems to refresh it every once in a while. And then Ben's comment, most expensive sets were like 300. Yeah, that's the thing. When I go through and do them, I also add up the total values. And the last 2 years, you could get all top 5 sets in UK for under £1,000. Whereas I think the last year, if you wanted to get the top 5 sets, you'd have to spend like 2,500. So it's.
Do you know if the value gets the amount of plastic that you gets more as well, or is it just the price that is raised?
Well, that's the interesting thing I've been looking at because, as Lego fans, we always like to complain about the prices and everything. The thing which I've noticed, though, is that the piece per price has actually remained relatively steady or gone down slightly. Mm-hmm. And I know it was something the BrickPods picked up on last week when they're sort of saying, yeah, but some of the sets that you're getting now got a lot of little 1x1 tiles and everything like that, which is fair enough. But I think, too, the other thing I've been looking at and sort of keep track of as well is the number of pieces in a set. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing which, the average number of pieces in, I think, those sets that we just did then was about a bit over 2,000. Whereas the last couple of years, the average number of pieces is like 5,500.
Yeah.
So it's one of these weird things where, okay, as the price, it's getting more expensive, but your models are actually getting a lot more detailed. There's a lot more actually going on. They're just generally bigger and things like that. So it's one of those things where I'm almost hesitant to say it, but if you take into account inflation and things like that, the value in your sets is actually increasing and relatively your prices are actually kind of going down, if that makes sense.
Right.
So because I can't remember who we were talking with. Was it last week or one of the other weeks? Might have been a while ago now, but like say your earlier modules like Cafe Corner and things like that, they had no interiors.
Right.
And see 10, 15 years ago, the pieces that they had available were a lot more limited. So you can do a lot more trickier things today. And like your build techniques have evolved and things like that. So the actual model that you're getting to some degree is much better in terms of what they're able to achieve with it and the detail they can put into it. Like, you know, if you've got a set which has 2,000 pieces versus a set which has 5,000, like
Right.
a lot more opportunity. So I don't know, maybe did that kind of answer your question? Or like
Yeah. It did. Yeah. and it's really hard to compare. To really be able to compare would be if you bought 10 years ago an X-Wing and it would have cost 200 euros. Today you get the very same X-Wing, same size, almost same not the same pieces, but almost same pieces, same size, but double the price. Then you really could compare it.
Yeah. I mean, that's where it became interesting with the modular. I'm staring right at it. The anniversary 10-year one, Assembly Square.
Yeah.
Because it's, you know, its original release price versus what you, at least in the UK, what you pay for it today is like £100 more, and it's been out for, has it been 6-7 years?
Yeah.
So it's going to what you're saying there in terms of it's one of the few sets which you have had constant over that time period, and you can even see within that it's had price increases to catch up. And I mean, in the poll and comparing the Ninjago City Markets with the latest Batcave, which is kind of a little unfair because the Ninjago City Markets is a value thing. It's got what, 21 figures, 6,000 pieces for like £300, which, you know, is, compare that to, you know, it's not fair, but in terms of like a Rivendell, it's kind of like the same number of pieces, roughly the same number of minifigures, and there's what, 120, 150 euros difference.
Yeah, and still, then you would need to build it and see it with your own eyes in front of on your table, or at least in the shop. Because when I look at the build, it totally. I love Ninjago markets based on the pictures. It's just when I look at the pictures, I'm surprised that there are 6,500 pieces. If you had asked me, I would have guessed, okay, Ninjago Gardens had 3,000, I think. Double that, but it's not really double. It looks as if there is less building going on the plates. There is a lot, but I wouldn't have guessed that there are 6,500 pieces. Whereas when I look at the Batcave, it looks massive. It looks that it's big, and it looks as if it were really not just like the roller coaster, big, but most of it is air with a bit of structure.
Yeah, it's solid.
Right, that's it. That's the word.
Whereas, yeah, your roller coaster is kind of, yeah, very, your 2x2 round pieces, and yeah, it's very kind of airy. I'm sure somebody can pick up a better word for it, but it's a lot more, yeah, spaced out. Or
right. I only would know the German terms of it, which means like. A structure built around air, which totally doesn't make sense.
No, it does. I think, yeah, they call it, sometimes they call it, in English, at least the technical term is a space frame.
Right.
Where it's kind of, yeah, it's, I think the one which I'm thinking of most is the Beijing Olympics, the 2000, was it, when did they do it? Was it 2008? And they had that main stadium. It was like the bird's nest because of the way that the roof, and it was mostly just beams and everything, kind of. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
somebody can correct us here. It's got hefty or hollow. Yeah, those would be the easy ones.
Right. Oh.
Let's go with that. Actually, what we might not have gotten to do earlier is just sort of go around and sort of see what people are building tonight, or taking apart, or whatever the case may be. So maybe start off, Trevor. What are you sort of working on this evening?
Can you guess?
Well, it's obviously the Star Wars, and it's obviously a diorama. Now, I know you did the Endor one already, so it's not going to be that one. Is that the trash compactor?
Hang on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the trash compactor.
Nice.
So yeah, I am building the trash compactor. Which is that.
Oh, nice.
So this one actually, you can move each side so it does squash and everything moves with it. So I'm interested to see all the pieces that I'm putting on now all go into one section in the middle, and then you pull it back out and they all go for a display piece. So it'll be interesting to see how that works.
You will
Yeah,
be
definitely.
you will be impressed.
So yeah, that's what I'm building this evening.
Yeah, very cool.
I do like the Star Wars dioramas, you probably can tell.
Yeah. By the way, I built it sometime last year, I think. And if you want to compare notes, back when I built it, I took issue with the fact that the back door is built in, and I thought that's no way to leave it, because can you imagine Han, Leia, and Chewie being inside, fighting for their lives?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I can actually see it now. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone.
So when you look
joy.
at when you look at the diorama from the front, you don't even actually see these anyway, do you? C-3PO and R2-D2.
I
You
know,
don't see them at all.
But we know that they are there, and they are blamed that they don't get the guys out. But they can't, because the door is built in, and I thought that's no. And with mine, I'm not able to slide out the door. It's rather easy to be done.
Right. Okay.
And I built it first. It's nothing that you need to do during the build. I built it first, and then I removed the door.
Then you remove the door. Oh, okay. I'll
Just
bear
in
that
case
in
you
mind.
want to leave the guys out.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that.
Okay. And then Nicole, what are you sort of working on this evening, having a build with?
I am building. Finishing. I had a guest work done on Instagram, and the road went to 8080, which is not quite the one that I was trying to build. It's the Monkey Kid mech. Which is? Do I dare?
Oh, almost got it. Yeah. That's cool.
I really like it. It's let me show you the picture of the finished one, because at the moment it looks a bit skinny. It will look like that in the end.
Yeah, bulk out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when that came out a couple of years ago, and there was a couple of people who sort of built it at the time, and they really enjoyed it.
It is amazing. The side builds are fun, and I think once it's all finished, it will be an impressive one.
Yeah, definitely. It was funny because when you first held it up, I was thinking that almost looks like the expensive Iron Man one, and it's like, surely you're not building that.
No.
And then it occurred to me you started building the Monkey Kid, like sort of Monkey King last sort of stream. It's like, no, it's that one.
Right. I built the small mech the other week, and I really have to do it again, because mine really had weak joints. I'm not really sure what's going on with that one. I must have done something wrong.
Is that the Wakanda Forever, or not the Wakanda Forever, but the it's got like 4 minifigures in it, and
Right.
yeah, we built that one, and the way that the legs connect, it always feels like it's kind of squatting, like it's in a weird position.
Right.
So yeah.
Oh,
No,
I
so
took
that's
it apart. Yeah, because I thought I did something wrong and I wasn't able to figure it out, so I took it completely apart.
right. Yeah, no, it's the general way that it is. It does have a weird pose to it, but it's almost like for what it is, it kind of it does it well. But yeah, it is limited.
Yeah.
And
Talking of mechs,
yep.
have you seen those ones that dropped today? The
Yep,
Star Wars one.
I was going to say we could almost segue into that, but just before we do that, I'm just curious to sort of see what Bonnie's sort of building or sort of taking apart, or what she's up to tonight.
Well, first of all, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Good. So sorry about that before. You do all the troubleshooting beforehand and then still something happens, but I do apologize. So what I am doing new Mandalorian helmet.
Oh, that's amazing.
So I love Mandalorian. It feels like there's a slight Star Wars theme, and then there's Nicole with her monkey kid mech. But yeah, so I'm just doing this one just now. This is the last helmet that we have in our backlog to do. I was saving it for like the end of the Mandalorian season, but if I'm honest, I think we forgot about it. That was in the cupboard. So I was just looking for something to build for the stream, and I was like, oh my gosh, we forgot Mando. So yeah, thought this is a nice one to do just now.
Yeah, that's amazing. But Matt, if you want me, I can switch. I still have my. At the moment, it's my beard.
Your beard.
And crown. But it could be a Mandalorian fighter as well.
As well with that, yeah. No, it's up to you. So I mean, yeah, I'm sort of just building the Star Wars Dagobah mainly because I had partially a little bit inspired by Bonnie when she did her light kit. I'd actually got a light kit for that ages ago, and it's sort of like I actually need to get around to building that and doing something with it. So it's like just start getting through that. And then Birds and Stuff is asking, are you from Holland? No, I think we got a German. I almost want to be very careful and say a Scots person, an Englishman, and a pretend Australian Englishman. So nobody from Holland as such. And they're also saying they have 5 of the Mando helmet. Is that for invest, or do you intend to build them all, or have a little army of them? No, sorry, Trevor. Getting back to what you're saying, yeah, you've had the Star Wars ones, little mechs, which have dropped today. What's your sort of thoughts on that?
It was something that I didn't expect Lego to come up with, to be fair, but I kind of quite like them. I do like them, especially Boba Fett and the Stormtrooper. Yeah, I can see me getting them, especially for Thomas. He'll enjoy building. He loves the mechs, so yeah, I like them. But it's not something I would have ever thought that Lego would have released or come up with, especially for Star Wars. So I don't know where that idea came from, but yeah.
Is it not because they kind of did them for Marvel anyway, or they are kind of doing them for Marvel? So
yeah, maybe.
Because I kind of saw them and I went, ooh, yeah, that make because they have the Marvel ones. But I agree with you though. I think the Boba Fett one looks quite. I like the look of the Boba Fett one, and maybe the Stormtrooper one, but the Darth Vader one looks a bit weird. I think. I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm not keen on that one. Yeah.
Someone was commenting. I saw that for that one, Darth Vader. One of the iconic things about him is his cape, and he doesn't have one. And it's sort of like, well, the Thor mech that they did, apparently there was a brick built cape on it. I can't remember it, but it did seem a little bit like, actually, if they had been able to do it in the past, So just coming off that, Maxine, your sort of thoughts on it? I know you sort of mentioned a few things.
just it's not. We have some of the just talking about mechs in general, because I think you have to kind of like the look of mechs in general to consider buying these ones. Even if you're a Star Wars fan, we have a couple. We have like a handful of the Marvel ones, but only because they're maybe like favorite characters. Like I really love Hugh Jackman and everything relating to Hugh Jackman, so I always have to get the Wolverine one. And I love that it's the old comic book style. But yeah, I don't know. I think again because I'm more specifically like Mandalorian, I might be tempted by the Boba Fett one, but I can't see us collecting them all. I could see them displaying quite nicely if you have them all actually, and because mechs actually probably display quite good, but they're also very, very playable as well. I suppose at least they've got a nice low price point as well. And I think I saw someone post that the Boba Fett one has maybe arm prints on the minifig that comes with it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And like improved leg prints on it as well. So that might be a good enough reason just to grab it for that. If most people love their minifigs, and we are one of those people. So we might grab it for that reason as well. But otherwise, not really fussed, to be honest. But I think my partner is, so I might end up having to buy them.
Sounds terrible. You might have to partake in it.
I know.
Okay, brilliant. Yeah, it's Nicole. Have you seen the mechs? Any sort of thoughts?
I saw them, and what I struggled with was when I got my Hulkbuster. It makes sense because I saw it in the movies, and with the Marvel mechs, I never thought of it. But with the Star Wars ones, for once, I thought of it in context of the movies or of the TV shows, and I thought, when have I ever seen Vader in a mech? Or a stormtrooper, or Boba, and I thought, that's so strange. Why? What's the context of it?
Maybe they're going to do a remake and everybody's going to come back as mechs.
Right.
Maybe they know something we don't, Nicole.
Right. But I never took issue with the Marvel ones, like with Rocket or the others. Never saw Rocket in a mech, but accepted that all of a sudden we get a mech with all the figures, or Wolverine. I'm not sure why.
Do you think it's also? Do you think they're almost supposed to be like a cheaper end version of like the Hulkbusters and stuff, like proper? You really can't afford the big one. You can't afford the smaller one. Here's a really, really, really small one.
Yeah. Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's been an interesting one because usually, like with the Marvel ones, the comments have always been like, what's the point? You got these heroes. Why would they have mechs? Da, 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 da. And I found the response to the Star Wars ones quite interesting because you generally haven't had, why would they need to have mechs? Da, 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 da. People strangely, like what you said, it's sort of like, I didn't know that these were really a thing or whatever, but they're kind of interesting. Like,
right.
Yeah.
So the response to it has been, really quite different. And I think part of it is the mechs themselves have a little bit more bulk to them than what the normal sort of previous Marvel ones and everything have. So they feel a little bit more substantial. I think because of that, they actually look, somewhat interesting. And because, much the same. I sort of saw a couple of them come out, and it's like, actually, I didn't know there might be things that I would want. It's like it's kind of a weird one. But I think, as was commented before, it's a nice price point. It's as a playable thing. You get a minifigure, you get a build with it. It's a mech.
Right.
Lego have always done mechs in their recent incarnations. I mean, half the line of Ninjago is some sort of mech. Like it seems like.
Right. And where does it say that unless the license giver objects to it. Is there really a rule that Lego can only bring out something that is how do Star Wars guys call it, canon? Like, okay, I want to make Vader pink. What would be wrong with?
I think that generally, again, speculating, they would hold to what would be recognizable as the character. Like, I don't think you'd see a pink Vader unless there was some one-off, maybe Cancer Foundation sort of thingy promotional. Like, it makes sense. Like what you say, if it was in canon, or unless it's in an advent calendar, and it kind of makes sense within that sort of theme where he's got like. I'm just trying to think, what was it last year? Was it a Death Star sweater shirt or something? Or am I thinking of the other
they did a Christmas jumper, didn't they? Style.
Yeah.
Right.
Which, obviously is not going to be canon, but, within the realms of what it is, they can probably get away with.
But it would be a good thing if that would be an option, because then Lego could tell if they again get the details wrong sign, Republic, or not. Then they could. It's us. We run with it. Give us a bit of creative freedom here.
Yeah, I think in that instance, though, that wasn't creative freedom. That was a review process that completely broke.
Right.
How can you have the wrong symbol on a UCS set? Like it's not like one of these mechs which are kind of like consumers. Nobody's going to care. When you're paying. Which one was that on? Was that on the
gunship? Wasn't
the A-wing?
I thought it was on the gunship, but I'm not really sure.
No, gunship. No, you're right. Yep, they came around the same time. So yeah, which was a 320-pound set or something like.
Yeah.
Making that sort of mistake. So.
Yeah.
Did you actually get your cockpit piece changed, Matt?
I haven't made the phone call about that. I'm actually, funnily enough, I haven't actually finished the X-Wing. It's still sitting in front of me.
And you're starting another build.
Sorry?
And you're starting another build when you have an unfinished build sitting staring at you. Oh.
Yeah, it's an X-Wing. So,
I'm not in an X-Wing mood today.
You sort of go, oh, it's an X-Wing, it'd be great, and then you start building. It's like, wait a minute, you got 4 wings which are very, very similar in their build. It's kind of like, it's like, okay, I built 2 of them. I've still got 2 to go. I'll just put that aside for a minute because I'm not quite sure I could handle building another lot of.
That's what I have the same thought process when I'm thinking. Eiffel Tower, I'm thinking, nah, it's got to be the most repetitive build going.
Yeah,
because you met one side, you've got to do another 3 sides, haven't you?
Yeah, I've not seen any kind of positive reviews about that, to be honest. Like how a lot of the LAN network got that set, and a lot of them still haven't finished it. They've just got bored with it. And that's crazy because obviously they have to do like the reviews of it and everything, and they can't really do a full review if they've not finished it. But I suppose their really brutal review is, I was so bored I could not finish it. But yeah, I bet it's just one of those ones that you just kind of want. It's one of the very rare sets when it comes to being a Lego fan and loving building Lego that you just actually want to come built because it just looks amazing displayed. But
I think it'd be a really good family build. Get big dining room table, get everybody round, and you can all build. And I think that's where that set would come in as a massive family build.
Yeah, I would have to make like a full-on day of it though, like go further than that. So have like a French tapas themed dinner, have like a French film on in the background, everyone come wearing Frenchy clothes. I don't know, like just go all out with it.
The set I would really like, it's pinnacle for me, is the Titanic, but I just think, where the hell would I put that?
Yeah,
but I still like it. Yeah. That would be a really lovely set, and they get a lighting kit for it. I've seen it lit up and it looks absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah,
I do love it.
Yeah.
But it's so expensive still.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So if anybody
Yeah.
wants to drop Matt a super chat, a couple of super chats, if you're generous, then please do so down below, and we'll sort that out.
Yeah.
We'll build it on the
We'll
channel
start
for the
putting it
next
to-
couple of years.
Oh, we were talking about giveaways earlier. Why doesn't someone?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe when I hit 100,000 or something like that, so-
Oh, should we hold you to that, Matt? Let's do it. Come on, everyone. Help us get there.
No,
Let me just make a note
fine.
of that. 100,000 giveaway.
It's one of
We
those things.
could-
If I hit 100,000, I'd be more than happy to do that.
We could up the game. One of you guys is going to sing under the shower. In the shower? Under the shower?
With the Titanic.
Right.
Celine Dion.
Right. I love it.
Oh, I think
Guys?
that's a job only for Trevor.
Right.
Yeah. I swear, quiet.
Titanic, but, parts of it, looks really good and everything like that. But again, I think for me, building the lower decks and everything like that, there's going to be a fair bit of repetition in that. Okay, it might be slightly different, but it's still, a meter over a meter long of boat hull to try to figure out.
Yeah.
I'd love to know exactly why people love that set so much, because I have to say it is one that I hear so many people saying that they want it, and I'm just not one of those people. But I am really interested to know why. It's very specifics as to why, because I know it's the biggest set piece. No, it's not the biggest set piece wise, because that's the world map, isn't it? Technically. It's
No,
the
the
longest?
Eiffel Tower. Yeah, so I think the Eiffel Tower is now past it because it's 10,001 pieces, whereas I think
I thought it was just the tallest. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's the Eiffel Tower is, I think, the most pieces, apart from that world map, which, okay, yeah. The Titanic did it have 9,000 pieces? I thought it was somewhere in there.
Shall I Google it?
Yeah. And a shout out to, I'll just make sure I've got it up on screen so I don't pronounce it backwards or some alternate Brickapix. Kerry, hope that you're having a good evening.
Hi,
Where
Kerry.
you be? Probably still finishing up work or having some words with a chef who's driven her crazy or something.
Okay, so the world map definitely has more pieces. That has 11,600 and something. And yeah, the Eiffel Tower is 10,001. But the one is like the brick separator, probably. Because they count the brick separator. But yeah, so the Eiffel Tower is the tallest. The Titanic's the longest. And the world map is the biggest by piece count.
Yeah, but it's almost all of the pieces are one by ones, right?
Yeah, and a brick separator, maybe.
Yeah, right.
Can't forget that.
Right.
I'm almost too scared now to bring this next person in because I didn't notice that they're there, and I'm a horrible host, and I'm probably going to
been
get
there for
yelled
an hour.
You hadn't noticed, sort of thing. So, yes, welcome along, Kerry. Hope that it's just good to have you join us finally. How you been?
I'm good. I did actually want to kill a child because they were just messing about. But it's fine. I made him wait outside in the end. I'm like, why are you still here? It's like, I'm waiting for my dad, and then it turns out that his dad had not even set off from about 10 miles away. So I went, just wait outside. It's like, he's not here yet. I'm like, you're 18, it's fine. So I just hope he didn't get mugged.
I got places to be. Just protect yourself.
It's like, Jesus, come on, get out. Some of the restaurants around me are still open, so you'll be fine. Get out. And then I did sit and wait for his father to turn up. So
That was a good live the other evening, Kerry, opening all them boxes. The bag, sorry.
That was cool. Here's my little. There we go. Look how beautiful they are.
I can't believe
They're
that
so
you
beautiful.
It's amazing.
They look so good all together like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so cool.
I just need to redo this now so that I can put them all together. Sorry, hi.
Did you?
Hi.
Hi! I'm loving your display right now.
Right. Carrie,
Yeah.
you had a big box, right?
I had a big box. This 2 sets in it.
Oh, but you opened only one side of it.
Yeah, no, I've opened them all. So what I did was I opened one side and I got a full set, and then I felt the other side.
Oh, yeah, right.
To guess to see what it was, and then I snipped the top and confirmed it. Because so that the person whose this is, which is Omega Man, he can then open them himself, make them up himself. So
great.
I got every single one of them as well. I was so proud.
Oh, that's amazing. So you have two full sets. That's amazing.
When are you going to open yours, Nicole?
I spoke with Fab Blondie on Sunday during our live, after our live, and she she offered that we could do a live together.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So on one of the Saturdays we are going live, and because she has a box as well.
Oh, I see.
I should have waited with mine. We could have done it all together.
Oh.
Never.
Do you have still the bags? Do a redo.
Put them all back. Yeah.
It took ages. It took a whole stream. So no, I'm not going to do that.
Just buy another box.
It's like £120 it was for a box. So yeah, but it was cheaper to get. It was cheaper to get it that way than it was actually to get them separately. So pretty cool.
Right.
So if you can't
That is cool. Where are people buying the boxes? I don't actually.
I don't want to give away my. I think I already mentioned it, didn't I? So if you're in the UK, there's a place called. I don't know if I should advertise it online. Actually, I better ask them first. So I'll put it in the chat. I think
put it in the private chat.
That people can't remember it. So what I'll do is I'll put it online because I don't want them to get any.
You did say on your stream that if anybody wants to know, just DM you on Instagram, didn't you?
Yeah. Nobody did.
Okay. Yeah.
But I really probably should message them and say, "Am I all right promoting you guys online?" And if I am promoting you guys online,
right?
No, I'm not going to do that.
Oh, yeah.
But,
I could tell. It's okay. I'm not really sure yet if I got a box because I have to do an unboxing, but I'm pretty sure that I got a box because it seems to be a reliable seller, and
that's going to be that. Nicole, that's going to be a brilliant live because I could just see it now. You've got no idea what's in that box. You're going to open that box and it's going to be full of saucepans.
There is still a chance. I got it. Yeah, I got a bigger box in it. There is hopefully that box in it.
Yeah, have you opened the big box? Because you can still take it out and do the unboxing with this box.
Right, it's just theoretically, and I could do that, but I want to have my face on camera if it's really a box of pants or panties.
Okay.
Yeah, priceless.
Right, because
that's risky.
Right.
Yeah, don't do what I did. When you actually get this box, I then cut open it, and then I was like, "Oh, you don't do that." There's like little tabs here that you pull up, and then you poke a tab in, and you just slide it off.
That's good to know. Right.
Yeah, because I couldn't open them as like I shouldn't have done that.
Right.
To stick it back together.
That's a good thing. Yeah. It's just by now I know the company that I buy it from, but when I bought it, I think now it's 3 or 4 months ago. They didn't really the name didn't say anything to me, and then it was €120, and the Disney birthday train was really inexpensive as well. And on top of it, I was told I get 3 poly bags as well. And I thought that's so strange. but now I saw them really, really often. It's JB Spielwaren. They most recently had all the pictures. When you saw new pictures, then some were from Promo Bricks, and the other pictures usually were most recently from JB Spielwaren.
Right, okay. I mean, I know with the company that I got, there was basic. I mean, I found these where I basically I googled one time to get the poly bag that had this poly bag in the Dumbledore.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I bought a poly bag off of them, and when I was looking into it, and it was on that shop.com, and I'm like, oh. So I assumed the shop.com. It's a book. Sorry, a book. It's an app. And then I didn't actually realise that was just an app for loads of companies to use to sell things. And I'm like, oh, so where did they actually buy it from then? And then I noticed the name of the company, and I went back through there, Googled them. They have an Instagram, they have a Facebook.
Yeah.
They have their own website. And when I went onto them, that's when I thought, oh, I'll get the... and they've got loads and loads of old retired sets on there. They sell old retired sets.
Yeah.
Quite cheap. Not quite cheap, but...
right, reasonable.
Reasonable, yeah.
Right, yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fantastic.
But I don't think they advertise themselves enough because people don't know about them.
I didn't know about them, and I thought it's a bit risky, but no risk, no fun. Yeah.
I need to know what's in this box now. Stretch it out on Instagram, Nicole. Just put it there and stretch it out.
So Ollie says that Ulrika, one of our mates, is always going to JB Spielwagen, and they're quite decent. So it won't be a bag of spoons; it'll be fine.
Right. Oh, that's very good to know, because it really made me suspicious, because the deal, it was far too good to be true. And then I could have had an Oswald cinema entrance on top of it, and I thought, okay, I get more Lego now. It's maybe I should have gone for the Oswald cinema entrance.
Maybe I would have done. You mean Oswald the Rabbit?
Right.
This one.
Right, and from JB Spielwaren, they had an entrance for him with printed pieces of the cinema, and
I might have to Google this JB Spielwagen. They shipped to the UK. I do love this set though. I can't decide whether I will. So nice.
Yeah, I need to know what everyone's favourite one is. The Disney CMFs. I need to know everyone's favourites.
My favourite on this series is Prince John, I think. Or Mickey. Or Mickey. Prince John or Mickey. I don't know, there's so many though.
It is hard.
I mean, Cruella de Vil's amazing, but I think she's in wrong colour. I need to Google why she's in yellow. But my favourite out of the lot is Jack and Sally.
I don't think I don't have Jack. I have Sally, I think. I'm still trying to, backtrack, because obviously I didn't start collecting when the first two series came out. So I'm still, it's so sad. I actually had them all on display because I was trying to work out how I was going to display with the new ones. And I realised how very few of the first series I had. And it was so sad. I'm only missing a few for the second one, but the first one I have hardly any. So, yeah. It's nice to be able to just get all of the new one, though. I've managed to get all of them, so.
If you put a list up, and do you display at events at all or anything like that?
Not yet. Hopefully one day.
If you go to Lego shows, I know there's one particular seller, I can't remember what they're called, but they often have Disney characters. So I could message him for you or her and see what they've got. If you just contact me on Insta, I'll just ask them, because I know that they do really good deals as well. And if they know you, they do better deals.
So it's who you know.
It's who you know.
That would be lovely. Thank you, Kerry.
I mean, there's a few that are just going to be hard to get and expensive. Like it's Huey or Louie. It's quite expensive to get. One of them, I can't remember which one it is.
That's a bit random, isn't it? Why would it be one of them, if any of them actually? But, yeah.
And then it's getting the right accessories as well. I think I got Little Mermaid, but I didn't get a shell. And then the shell cost me about £2 to get. Ridiculous.
Yeah, I think I bought a few on Bricklink, and they didn't come with like accessories or something like that. Does anyone know why that is such a thing on Bricklink? I really can't work out in my head why it is that they seem to take the accessories away and just kind of send the minifig. No accessories, no plate. I've always been intrigued as to why that is. That seems to be like the general.
Just pick them up second hand, and it's kids that have lost bits and things.
Yeah, I think it's just because of the way that they've historically broken up sets and things like that. So it's sort of like, it just only has the minifigs, whereas if you go usually on eBay, they'll generally have the complete fig, like with all the accessories or the stand or whatever it is. It's.
Speak of the devil, and he shall appear.
Mega
Man's just turned up.
A strange one.
Yeah, I'm still trying to collect all the figs from all the sets as well. So I did start off trying to collect all the old sets just to get the figs, but now I'm just like, you know what? It might just be better off just buying the figs, yeah. So I'm getting there, but there's still a couple to get. But I feel like I've not got too much to backtrack on, really. It's just a lot of the Mickey and Friends sets, really.
What sort of Lego do you actually collect? Is it all Disney or?
Primarily, but no, like I get like modulars and Star Wars and stuff as well, and then there's like Rivendell, fantasy themed, because me and my partner both like fantasy stuff. So yeah, the Lion Knights Castle is also on our wish list.
Star Wars is a slippery slope, just so you are aware.
Yeah, that's more my partner that's at fault with that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited for the new Disney sets that are coming out. For sure, I think they look fantastic. You can definitely tell that like we're trying to tailor to the new generation coming out, especially with like the new Little Mermaid film with that set that they decided to do. I think they've done everything so deliberate by doing that set for the new film and all the diversity that comes with it. But then the new villain set that they've brought out, they're definitely still trying to keep the older generation happy, because they've said, well, here's some of the classic old villains that the newer generation aren't as familiar with, because you've got Snow White's like evil queen and the genie, but like Jafar's genie, and then the VHS. There'll be a lot of kids that'll be looking at it going, "What is that?"
I think that's a brilliant set. I do. That's one I want to get.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for it. Oh my god, it's going to display so nice. I'm going to be at the Lego store first to get that, like first thing on Thursday.
And doesn't the VHS tape open up?
I think it does. Yeah, I think it does. It's got like a Little Mermaid sort of.
It's so cool.
I don't know what you would even call it.
I've not seen
when you see the images. Yeah. Oh,
yeah, it's a lovely set. It's one that would look really nice on the shelf as well, because it just looks like a set of books. It's nice.
Yeah, I've got a space ready for it. Well, yeah. I will do. The up house needs moved, but it's going where the up house currently is, and everything's getting shuffled along. But yeah, my shelf is going to just be a Disney themed, because I was trying to work out a way to display my Disney CMFs that I just got, like the new ones, and I can't up this set enough. It's one of the Friends sets. It's the only Friends set I have. But the theatre. I think it's Andrea's Theatre. Yeah. It's fantastic. If you want a way to like display like your Muppets, yeah, it's so good. And I've done it with my Disney CMF, so that they're like, I've got Pinocchio and Miguel on stage, and all the other ones are like watching in the wings, all the other figures, but I've got like the villains getting ushered out just because there wasn't enough seats for them and they need to leave. So I've got that in the up house above there, so the villain set will be going there as well. But yeah. It's a great set. I honestly love it, and it's been on sale a couple of times in the UK. Like really good deals for it.
This one.
Yes. It's so much fun.
I've got it to display. This is my first Friends set, and I got it to display my Muppets, and I forgot about it until you said that. So it's just been sat on my Harry Potter shelf. So I will have to actually start modding this at some point. Don't know what to do with these things though. Give them to Mark. But yeah, it's awesome.
You did a short stop motion, didn't you, Maxine, on YouTube, if I remember?
Yes, yeah, I did with Pinocchio.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was it didn't do that great, to be honest, but it was a lot of fun for me to make, and I love it. Because it just made sense to have Pinocchio on stage doing "I got no strings," and then Miguel's on there as well with Dante. And Stitch, I've got. I took one of the transparent pieces that you get for like characters minifigs that you have that are flying and all this kind of thing.
Yeah.
I took one off of the Sanctum, because the Sanctum is not as important as Disney, and I put Stitch on the end of it, so he's like flying above the stage, because obviously this is naughty Stitch in this CMF series, not nice Stitch in the earlier one, so he's obviously causing havoc above the stage. Such a child animal.
So this Stitch, does he come in Lilo and Stitch 2? Because I can't remember him having 4 arms in the first one.
Yes, he's in the first one with 4 arms at the very start of the first film.
I can't remember that. I'll have to watch it
Yeah.
again.
And Lilo and Stitch 2, he doesn't. In Lilo and Stitch 2, he just goes a bit crazy because he's starting to hardwire back to his original state, but he doesn't end up in the red costume again.
Yeah,
So
I
yes.
haven't seen Lilo and Stitch 2, so I just assumed it was from there.
It's like Stitch has a glitch.
Yeah.
The name of the second one, I think. That makes me cry at the end every time. Honestly, it does. I've not watched it in a long time, and I don't want to watch it because it's just so
Disney
sad.
films that I can't watch because I cried when I was young. Bambi and Dumbo being 2 of them, and I really don't want to watch Up until I'm in that mood where I need to have a good cry, because I know for a fact I will.
Yeah. Coco as well.
Oh, so is that another one?
That's another one you can't not cry at the end.
Right, okay.
Yeah. And here's a question for everyone. I feel like everyone that I've ever spoken to that watches Toy Story, or the Toy Story films, in the chat as well, I want to know the answer to this. Everyone says that they cried in Toy Story 3 when they're, approaching imminent death. I didn't cry at that bit because I kind of was thinking, well, they're not going to kill them. But at the end of Toy Story 4, at the end of that got me.
I don't think I've seen Toy Story 4.
Oh, don't watch it.
I can't remember crying at Toy Story 3. I can't remember crying at any Toy Story, actually.
Okay. That'll be why you haven't seen Toy Story 4 then.
I don't think so. Which is the one with the bear in that's a bit nasty. Is that Toy Story
3? Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the last one that I've seen, and I haven't seen Toy Story 4.
What about a Lotso mech? That would be quite scary.
Which one, sorry?
We were talking about mechs before, and I was like, how can I get a Disney mech? A Lotso mech. Oh, like a Dementor or something like that. That might be quite good.
Yeah. They were talking about. They were talking about in Mikey J's stream last night about films, and he said, "Oh, I must show my." Just came out with, I must get my child to watch Neverending Story, and I was like, what? No, you want to emotionally damage your child? I have nightmares for 10 years after watching that as a kid. 10 years, I tell you, it's awful. I don't know what it was as well, because it's have you seen Neverending Story with Big Flying Dog? So it was when Artax sunk in the mud, that horse.
Yeah.
And that just gave me and at the end, he was fine, but that scene just traumatized me, really. And that wolf, I get to see that wolf's eyes everywhere. That film was bad.
I'm liking the comments in the chat. Everyone's on board with this as well.
And I was like, I did not know until later on, until I was about 20 or so, that it traumatized everybody, not just me. I thought it was me being as soft as a kid. Yeah. Emotional damage, seriously. But I also got scared when the the big steak-off marshmallow man in Ghostbusters, when his face changed, that gave me nightmares. But then I was fine watching zombie films and stuff. I was a strange kid. Yeah.
I've
and
seen Toy Story 3.
Yeah, still the horse scene still triggers my wife.
It's awful. It's awful. I can't watch it. I think that's
Yeah.
forward.
I remember watching that as a kid, and then it's loving the film and everything like that, and then didn't watch it for like a very, very long time, and then tried to watch it again, and so like I can't understand why I thought this was such a great film. Like it's a good film, but you know when you just see things through kids' eyes, and maybe it's because like what you say, the whole horse scene traumatized you and everything.
Yeah.
You're just like, okay, I finally got over it.
Yeah, I can remember getting scared with Labyrinth, and then I watched it again and thought, this is stupid. Watched it as an adult. And there was Children of the Corn. Yeah, so my dad let me watch zombie films as a kid and scary films when I was like 8 and 7 and stuff. Probably a bad move. But I had nightmares over some, and one of them was Children of the Corn. I was so scared, and I watched it again as an adult, and I was like, this is so stupid. Why was I scared? Yeah.
I was really scared of Hocus Pocus as a kid.
Yeah.
And then I rewatched it and I'm like, this isn't scary. But it just shows you like what actually scares like a child. Like, it's crazy.
I was scared of weird things, like I couldn't watch any Dr. Seuss because there's just no straight lines, and it used to just freak me out. Yeah. Probably because I'm slightly autistic. There we go. Wasn't scared of zombie films, but scared of Dr. Seuss.
Well, because it didn't have straight lines.
I don't know. It just freaks me out. I still just, like, when you look at it now, it's like they don't look right. I wasn't a massive fan of things that don't look like they're supposed to. Like Thing 1 and Thing 2, they just look weird. Yeah. But my mum said as well that I was also, I watched or somebody read Beauty and the Beast to me. Not the actual Disney cartoon, but I watched or read something else, and I had nightmares because I thought that the Beast had eaten Belle's father. So I was very young.
And that wasn't a retelling, that was just in your head that you thought that's
in
what
my
happened.
head. Yeah. I just it up in my head. And then one that scared me a lot, the cartoon was something with rabbits in it. There was loads of rabbits and they all died or they got killed or something.
When it was a kids' film?
Was it Watership Down or something like that? Loads of rabbits, cartoon rabbits that were getting chased by something. I was scared of it.
Yeah. Who horribly die?
Can't remember.
There was a rabbit.
Did they all die?
Yeah, that one scared me to death too.
Was that a kids' film?
It was a cartoon.
But yeah, I can remember it being really, really scary as a kid. I was about 4 or 5 and I was so scared. Yeah, 1978 film.
I agree with the minifig Who. When I was a kid, I found that the Oz was scary as well.
Yeah, no, that's why I sort of pulled it up and highlighted it because it was much the same. I remember that one really did a number on me. I can't remember whether it was it the bat creatures or was it the ones on like bent over roller skates or something.
The bat creatures were creepy.
But
they were scary.
Piece of politicians. So the other thing that used to scare me in the chat, the minifig Who, Doctor Who scared the hell out of me. It was just the voice of Davros and the voice of the voice of the Daleks. I was so scared.
Yep.
And then they learned to fly. Yeah, so I couldn't watch it.
Happy birthday, by the way, minifig Who.
And how old are we? Not asking that, no? Okay.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Trev knows all about everyone.
Yeah, Spitty News were weird. I didn't like Cabbage Patch Kids either, they were weird. Yeah.
I used to have one of those dolls, I think.
Yeah, I could not have one of those dolls, not anywhere near me.
Yeah, my sister was into it big time and kept on threatening to to split its head open and get at the cabbage that was in it, and either aspect of that just freaked her out. It's like, they don't have cabbages in there. Yeah, they do. Let's crack it open and find out. And it's like,
I feel weird because I'm not building anything. I'm gonna have to grab something and build it.
they don't have
It's
to
weird.
build
Maybe
it.
like back then they didn't do what's it called, like quality assurance with where they get like kids in to watch them before they air them. Maybe they didn't do that so much in the old days, because surely then that poor kid audience would have said, "This is too scary. No."
Yeah.
It's so weird, like why they would air these like kids films that are terrifying.
Well, that was like the original Gremlins film. There's some pretty dark things in that, and it's kind of a kids film, but it's kind of not.
Yeah,
So,
that didn't scare me though,
like,
that.
you know,
It was always
I think it's one of those
cartoons
things.
or yeah. So Gremlins was. I was about to say it's cartoons, but it wasn't, because I was obviously scared of Never-Ending Story. But Gremlins should have scared me, and they didn't. It's weird.
Well, there's never so much the actual physical, you know, violence and shoving them in the microwave and exploding and them running around with the dangerous knives and everything. It was more, oh yeah, my dad was in a Santa Claus suit and got stuck in the chimney and died. Like, you know, those sorts of things.
Yeah.
It was more the content where your brain fills in the gaps.
It just, I think with kids, it just depends on which thing. Because we knew that Artax, the horse, was a good horse, and he died. And I think that's what, you know, with those Gremlins were bad. When they got cooked, it was funny.
Yeah.
But when you fall in love with like a character and then they die, that's a problem with kids, I think, especially with like, yeah.
Yeah. Or when the Gremlins got into the old lady's house and she had that mobility thing to help her up the stairs, and they cranked it so that it went flying up the stairs or whatever, and you just laughed at that because that was funny. Like, it was really like the different way the humor, like, for contextually, like, you know, this is bad, that's scary, and this is funny, and it's like, wait a minute.
It's a bit like, so think of like what Kevin McAllister does to those poor bandits, but it's hilarious. But if you think about standing on those baubles and grabbing a hot doorknob, you know. So Raiders of the Lost Ark, when he grabbed that thing and burnt himself, and his face changed, that scared me. And especially all the things coming out. But when they did it on, mind you, I was a little bit older when Home Alone came out, to be fair.
Yeah, I think that's about 10 years difference, 9 years. That was like 1990 or 91.
Yeah, so I would have been.
Whereas I thought Raiders was 81.
Yeah, I'd been 14 there, to be fair, actually. Yeah, so I was probably like 4. Probably shouldn't have been watching Raiders of the Lost Ark, but you know, it was great. Because I can actually remember getting scared at the second one, Temple of Doom, thinking about it. Kalima. Still my favourite.
Sorry, Kerry, can you just hold up the Disney minifigs for a sec?
Which ones? The new ones or the old ones?
The new one. I was just thinking, going back to Maxine's question of which would be the favourite.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Possibly either the Coco or the Mickey one. Although Lilo's, is it Lilo or Stitch? Stitch.
It's Stitch, yeah. So this is my favourite here. Oh, 1 minute. This one's my favourite. Look at his little face.
Ah.
Yeah. And this was my.
Trevor, you got.
This is very, very strange, but as a child, that was my crush. A cartoon fox.
To be fair, there's a bunch of celebrities talking about that very topic on Graham Norton if you look it up on YouTube. And one of them, I think it's, who is it? Oh, I can't remember. It's like Anna Kendrick or something that had like a crush on Robin Hood, or was it Aladdin or something? I can't remember.
That's what I saw. No, so she had a.
Yeah.
She had, yeah. Yeah, it was ridiculous. And then somebody said they had a crush on Maid Marian. It's like, she's a fox. And I'm like, oh my God,
Yeah.
I had a crush on Robin Hood.
I mean, I aimed a bit higher. I was like Tarzan.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, it's so bizarre. But then I'm sure a lot of guys would say The Little Mermaid or Jasmine or something.
I suppose, yeah.
So
So weird.
yeah.
Kids are so odd. I also had a crush on Mel Gibson though as well. So wow. Yeah.
Was it the kilt?
No, it was. I'm trying to think. Probably Lethal Weapon.
It's the Aussie accent.
Yeah, and Mad Max and Tim as well. Tim was a good film, but I didn't have a crush on Tim because he was playing a special boy. So that would have been a bit.
Wasn't he in Braveheart as well?
Yeah, but I didn't. By the time Braveheart came around, I didn't have a crush on him. I've moved on to Patrick Swayze there then.
Yeah, minifig who's suggesting it's the mullet, so very 80s.
Yeah, probably. What can I say?
Trevor, did you mention what your favourite Disney minifig was from that line?
I like the Coco.
Coco?
Okay.
So you all keep saying Coco, but who do you mean? Because neither of them are called Coco.
One's Miguel, and the other guy, I don't know.
Ernesto de la Cruz.
Ernesto de la Cruz.
Yeah.
So Miguel's the one with the dog, and
yeah, Miguel.
The dog is so cute. Where's the dog gone?
Yeah.
Where's the dog? Oh, I haven't. He's down there.
Lost the dog.
The dog.
I know you have to show that up to the camera.
No, this dog
the face
is
on
not
it is.
like- yeah, it's so funny. Let me just get me a little platform for him. So just look at this dog. Look at the dog. He's got his tongue hanging out. He's great. And then teeth on the other side. Oh, can I get any closer? There you go. It's a great. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And Miguel himself comes with 2 different heads.
Yeah, it's a really great fig.
Yeah, so
really,
he
really
comes
good.
with his little boy head. And then let's just put the whole thing on there so you can see. So yeah, guitar, boy head, and dog. So that's a lot into a minifigure. That
Yeah.
quite a lot into a CNF. So that you get 2 heads, a guitar as well, and a dog.
Yeah. That's incredible.
And then you get Baymax.
Yeah.
Just Baymax.
I think it backs up what you were saying earlier, Matt, about Lego and their detail now. It really,
This is the thing though, with a lot of characters when you're buying sets, there's not a lot of detail in them, but with your CMS you know you're going to get lots of detail.
I'm saying that I did like a whole video like going through each and every one, rating them, and like saying which ones were best and which ones were worst based on that like discussion about which ones had like the best detail, which ones kind of did Lego give us the best accessories and that were accurate to film. I was being very pernickety and things like this shouldn't have this accessory because it's not with this in the film and all this kind of thing. So Kerry, you wouldn't be happy with what one I said was the worst.
What, Prince John?
Maybe.
I think he's the worst. Why is he the worst?
Oh, just in terms of like the accessories, I didn't think made as much sense because like they could have given him like a jewel and and things like that, and just the quality of the figure and stuff as well. And to be fair, there was a reason that I gave for multiple figures, but Prince John was one of them. Is that I feel like they should work more on like kind of molds that look more like long sweeping cloaks because like for example Cruella, I don't feel like she was as good as she could have been. I still rated her a bit higher, but
so do you know
just
why
things
she's
like
in yellow then?
Well, if you look at the in the animated film, I suppose her fur coat is kind of like a tinted sort of beigey color. It's not actually white.
See, I thought it was white. In the film it's white though, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, what, the live action or the
the live action it's white.
Yeah. So, but she's very like her face is really accurate to the animated film. If you get a picture up, like the way they've done the makeup and stuff, it's quite good. So, yeah, she is a good one, and I love the little Dalmatian because I think it looks very like Disney Dalmatian as opposed to just like a generic Lego Dalmatian.
Yeah.
I'll stop talking about this now though, because otherwise we'll be here all night.
One thing when I was opening it though, the stick from the Evil Queen, not the Evil Queen, the Evil Queen, mirror on the wall. Was it the Evil Queen? I can't remember. The stick from her was missing out of my set.
Oh. Are you sure it wasn't actually stuck in the bag? Because I did have.
No, we went through the bags and thoroughly went through the bags, picked up the bag, felt it and everything.
Weird how you get a missing piece of a CMR.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't a major piece, it was just like a little stick piece, so it was fine. I was able to replace it. I mean, I will go through the bags again, but yeah. Sorry, I'm on a Disney rant. I'm making this now.
The Buzz Brickhead.
Yeah, the Buzz Brickhead.
There's still a bunch of brickheads I still need to get as well, but some of them are crazy in how much they've gone up in value. It does make me curious about the ones that they brought out this year, the Disney 100 ones, if they're going to do the same in future, because it's really hard to get hold of like Jack Sparrow, Ursula and Ariel, and then Mickey and Minnie. They're like £100 each now.
Yeah. I'm glad I got them the first time round. What? Who's talking about anti-Semitism?
Oh no, when they're talking about reasons not to like Mel Gibson anymore.
Oh right, yeah, I forgot about that. No, I went off with him before that. I just realised he wasn't actually that attractive.
Maxine, you're saying the possibly the worst one. What was the top one or two that you thought after you did your detailed analysis?
I'm on the spot now trying to remember my own video. I'm pretty sure Miguel was number one. Because we've already seen like the detail that they put into that fig, and then they gave us so many accessories to go with it, and the two faces and the two headpieces.
Yeah.
Number two. I think number two was Ernesto de la Cruz. Because again, that is just a fantastic fig. They couldn't have. It came down to, I was asking myself, could they have done this figure any better for this character? And for the top three, because I basically did a top three, the answer for that was no, they couldn't have done it any better. So number two was Ernesto de la Cruz. Because the number three was actually very surprising to me because it wasn't one I'm that fussed about. Was the Evil Queen?
Yeah, she's good.
Yeah, she's very accurate to the Evil Queen in the animated films, so she got the number 3 spot.
Mickey?
So Mickey was not far behind. They couldn't have really done Mickey any better either, but again, it was down to the whole, they need to like come up with a mold that's like a cloak piece to really have given him in his full glory, because otherwise it's a little bit...
This is what I said about Mickey. So on his front, on his front there, he's got... Matt, can you just put me on the big screen for me, please?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
It's coming.
So on his front, he's got these two little cloak pieces, yeah? And on his back, it kind of doesn't follow. He's got legs.
Yeah.
However, if you look at Jack, they could have done this with him. They've put Jack a little skirt on, and they could have done that with Mickey.
Yeah. Because they gave Mickey a tailcoat kind of piece for the Disney Castle Mickey. But to be honest, even then, I feel like, because I'm such a hardcore Disney fan, I don't feel like that's enough. Like, I want more. And we know that they are capable because they did like specially molded pieces for Baymax. So I was saying that like the Queen of Hearts should have had Baymax size arms because she's got quite chunky arms, and that was like the pernickety reason I gave her a score of what I did and all that kind of thing. And also Mulan, her leg piece makes no sense. The outfit she's wearing, she's got legs, but she should have been given a skirt piece. If you look at a picture of her in the film compared to what she's wearing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, with Mulan, I didn't like the fact that they've given her Lego Friends hair as well.
Oh yeah, are you finding it hard? This is another reason that I scored her where I did. I'm pretty sure it is Mulan that has this issue. Her hair doesn't stay on very well. Like with mine, it kind of pops up a little bit. Like it doesn't stay down very well, like stuck to the head. Which is very annoying.
No, mine's going down. So,
But if you watch it, it starts to move.
Yeah, so it's a little tiny piece of hair that sticks out on the left hand side. Kind of like sticks up. Oh, I see what you mean, yeah.
It's weird. It's like, because it's a rubbery. I didn't realise that was like the Friends style hair pieces because I don't buy those sets. But yeah, it's very, very annoying.
Yeah, she's the only one that's got it as well. That's what's really annoying. It's like everybody else has got proper hair. Pocahontas' hair is awesome. That's the first time I've seen that hair.
Oh, I know. She's one of my favourites. Yeah.
I'm going to get Colours of the Wind going through my head again in a minute. Soon as I put Pocahontas, my favourite song of all time. I'm not going to try and sing it. It's in the wrong key for me. I'm a little bit deep. Hey, Kerry, fanboy. Oh, my word. Hi, Studs. How you doing? It has a 80s minimalistic vibe.
He's talking about your
my top. Right, okay.
Your top, yeah.
This is my work shirt.
I think the only thing that could be more 80s would be like a zebra print or something.
Yeah. Just forgot I was wearing it. Oh, there's a pen down there. 80s minimalistic vibe. Yeah, that's cool. Either that or I just don't go with the flow. I don't go for fashion.
So for the Dobby, obviously there's some official stuff of that recently. Was that this week or was that last week? Or was that leaks?
Dobby?
Last week, wasn't it?
Okay.
Dobby as in Harry Potter?
Yeah, the that buildable figure thing.
No, we've seen that for a while now. It's not leaked. It's proper images.
Okay.
It does look pretty cool.
Slated it there.
I think it looks pretty cool, actually. I don't think we'll be necessarily picking it up, or maybe we'll get it discounted eventually, but hopefully. But I actually think it looks quite good.
I'll tell you what we haven't heard about, a Star Wars buildable figure for this year.
No, we haven't, have we? No, not at all. That's if they do one. I don't know.
The Chewy one. But,
Chewy?
I mean, we've just obviously had the mechs, which kind of buildable figures.
No, it's not the same. Last year we had BB1. The year before we had R2D2, and was it Grogu the year before as well? The year before that we had the Porg. The year before that we had Yoda. Any more? No, so they've done one. Oh, we had a Dio, didn't we, as well? Yeah, so we had Dio on 1 year. They've done one for the last 5 or 6 years. Can't really count R2D2, I don't think. But yeah, there's been Dio, BB1, the Porg, and Baby Yoda. Grogu.
Yeah, my son's got that. We haven't got around to building that yet. Grogu. Yeah.
It's quite a nice little build. It gets a bit confusing because his cloak's all the same colour.
I quite enjoyed that one, actually. I thought it wasn't as repetitive as what I expected. But he now sits up here. I don't know if you can see. He's there with his friend Wally. And Wally now has Grogu's little ball, and Grogu has his plant. So they've swapped accessories. I was actually doing like a reel or something of them, pretending that they'd stolen my phone and they were doing selfies. And I just never put them back, and they just kind of live there now. So quite like them. They're a nice size.
So apparently we didn't get any red heart tiles until the Queen of Hearts. I have never noticed that. I'm going to go see if I've got some. Surely we did.
I did not know that.
Okay, yeah. Because I think
I can only think of pink hearts as well, actually.
use that in, what was it, as a heart thing for his was it Kid Icarus? The like original version or something? Maybe that's
See, I've got pink hearts, but I've never actually had red hearts. Thinking, interesting. Ah, so I've got a red heart with a clock on it. Where's that from? A red heart with a clock. Where would that be from? It's clearly a spare or something, but I don't know what it's from.
Remember Skew saying there was pink heart at some point.
Yeah. I've got a pink heart, so I've got a couple of those. So they are definitely in something. But I've got a red heart with a clock on it, and I don't know where it's from. It looks really familiar, but I could not tell you where from. Interesting. I'll show you, it's this one here. So
Hey, when is the next AFOL day? That must be pretty soon.
that's on June the 15th, is it? No. It's here. I don't know where it's from, but it looks very familiar. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I'm just looking around at my Lego now, thinking, where is it from? Does anybody recognise the red heart with a clock?
I suppose if you look it up on Bricklink, it should tell you maybe what set it comes in.
Thing. I'll do the picture.
Isn't there? I've seen around this week's a new app where you can take a picture of a single Lego piece and it will identify it for you.
Brick Organize, it's amazing.
How will that work with print? So it works.
Well, we were doing it at our AFOL meets, and it was working very well. We'll see how well it works with this one. Tile round heart with clock. Yes, I know. How annoying. So brick ID 39739.
Yeah, if it gives you the part number at least, then yeah. Studs ordered a new of those blank red heart. Yeah, certainly for any video game mock from the 80s, that was a very big thing. It was a health bar thing.
What it does is it links directly to Bricklink, and it appears in one set. Yes, that Brick Organised. The Tin Man Lego Movie 2. Compatible. I've not got a Lego Movie set. That's random. Tin Man, the Lego Movie 2. Oh. Right, yes, it's with a minifigure. I've never had that before, so I don't know.
Yeah. And it's odd because, well, coincidental. I was watching a short or TikTok from Sai earlier today, and he had the Tin Man from Lego Movie 2, and I was just thinking I can't even remember them being in there.
Yeah, I've never had that. So I have never had this minifigure, so I don't know where I've got that heart from. That's where it's from.
That's such a cool
thing, like a bulb.
Yeah. So I don't know where I must have. I did have, though, however, I did have quite a lot of loose minifigures in the box, so that heart may have been in there. So I'll have to save that little heart. What were you saying?
I think, my Tin Man has the heart as well from the CMF.
Yeah. I've not got that CMF, so yeah, I've got some.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. It must have just been in some loose Lego, or I found it somewhere.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, I will keep that. It's very cute. Oh, okay, there we go. So we were looking all over, and then Stu's actually telling us in chat that that's where it's from. Sorry. Have I been drinking in the green room? KO, if you knew me at all, you would know that I do not drink.
Stud. I never understood why Lego never made blank red heart tiles before. I mean, now think about it in terms of Tin Man wanting a heart, that sort of makes sense. Makes a lot of sense, you know, when moving day is. Stud, you would think they had made red hearts, pink, blue. Excited for that.
I've never erased a print off of anything, I've got to admit. I didn't realise that AFOL Day was the 24th. I thought it was halfway through the month. That's kind of annoying because I wanted to go get the Harry Potter Lego on AFOL Day, and I thought I didn't have a long time to wait for it.
Well, it's probably, you know, given that you've got a range of June 5th releases, they're probably not going to have our whole day right next to it.
No. Oh, well, did it? So when the train came out, they had AFOL Day 10 days later. So I waited and got the train on AFOL Day.
Oh, nice.
That was a very hard wait, that was.
Were you worried that there would be none left?
No.
No.
Do we know when the next time will be when we have double VIP points?
Sure, actually.
No.
I bet it won't be for a while because we just had them for Star Wars, haven't we?
Well, is this something you got your eye on, Nicole?
I made a promise to myself. I'm sorry?
Everything.
Yeah. No, I promised myself that I won't buy a Rivendell unless there's double VIP point or a really, really good gift with purchase.
Well, the brickheads were fantastic, GWP.
Yeah, okay.
They weren't exclusive though. Like they weren't anything new. That's why they went in my giveaway. I guess we already had them.
What's the next GWP? Do we know? I know they're doing the moving house at the moment, but when that's due to finish, I think, on Sunday.
See you later, KO.
I was seeing that they had the Lego Online with having the sailboat back again if you had a code from, I think, one of the newspapers or something. It may have finished now, but...
Yeah, I didn't realise sometimes buying on Lego.com was a little bit like approaching things when you were ordering Pizza Hut or Domino's delivery, where you just quickly Google discount codes, and sometimes you get lucky and you find something, and you get another free gift. I've done that a couple of times. I didn't think it would be so. I wouldn't say easy because it's very, very rare that I find something that works, but Yeah. There you go.
I can't remember
If you haven't
the last
tried it.
time I ordered from Lego without a discount or a gift purchase. They are quite expensive. Oh, do I need Woody now that I've got him? Is Woody still for sale?
Joe, thanks for stopping by. Have a good one. Rivendell came out just before the last AFOL day. Okay, yeah, no, it's Pirate Playground.
Oh, see, that isn't one that we've got hold of yet, and I would like that one. It does look very nice. Very, very sweet.
Rick Askew heading out. Thanks very much for stopping by. Hope you have a good one. What do we got here?
Oh no, don't tell me I built this wrong because it won't fit.
Yeah, actually, what's everybody building actually? Thinking about it.
I'm building nothing now. Go away, go away. It's intense.
I'm doing the Mandalorian helmet. I'm just trying to push a piece on, and I'm worried it's going to crush the whole thing.
Break it down. Yeah.
I think the Mandalorian one was most annoying because all the colours were the same. Yeah. I've just finished the Squishy Head. I need to stop calling him Squishy Head and actually call him a Death Trooper. Just like he's got a squashy head.
And Cole was doing the Monkey Kid neck.
And I have to tell you, it already looks more presentable, doesn't it?
Oh, wow.
Not gonna lie, I just don't get mechs. I don't understand why. It's very mech crazy.
It looks really big.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
To me, it looks like a transformer.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
It does a bit, yeah.
There is a lot of flexibility. I kind of like it. Makes me a bit suspicious, but
It's always when you're building Lego and it's like, is that meant to move like that, or have I just made a mistake?
right.
So when I was building R2D2, that's when I noticed I had an issue when his middle leg didn't move, and I'm like, that's not right.
No, no.
Let's take him apart.
Yeah.
And do him again. And then I nearly threw him out the window.
Yeah.
And then I finally got him sorted, and now I don't move him in case he falls a bit. So he's just there. Staying there.
See, that's the issue I now have with Wally, because I got Wally sealed, but like secondhand. So I think there is a new kind of ball joint piece you can get since they brought it out, because the original one is really bad. But obviously it's been quite a while since it's been out.
No, they brought that out. There's only a couple. If you've got that one, then that's a bit dodgy, because they did a fix for him like literally 5 weeks later. So if you've got one of the original ones, there's only a few with that ball joint missing. Because mine, when I bought it, he had the proper neck.
I mean, I could show you, because I'm not sure.
I'll have to get mine out to compare and contrast what I can't get over.
It's like I need to like carry him so carefully though, because his head literally does flop. Something fell. I think it was the ball. Oh, he's facing the wrong way. I've just realised. So he's kind of like it's which bit is it now? I'm like wanting him to break now just to show you. It's basically like this bit. It doesn't really stay. So if you try and
I shouldn't do that.
Yeah, it's just like
That is a bit weird. See, mine's
so
already up.
we
Does it come up a bit further? The neck.
So yeah, so you can. So this is him with a straight neck, but then if you have his eyes like this, they're not very like sturdy.
I'll have to go and get mine on and have a look. I'm sure
So if
mine's
you
a bit
bend the
sturdy.
neck at all and then put him down, obviously it's not doing it now because I'm trying to show people. But it does. Like the head does move a lot. Like this. This is him. This is why actually his head was backwards when I picked him up, because.
So will his head not go upwards when you do it from that bit there? Can you not tip his head? No, just the head bit. Can you not tip the head bit just backwards? No, not
So,
from
yeah.
there, from the actual head bit.
Oh, from this bit.
Yeah.
You can. But but that happens. So you just but it makes sense from the piece that's there. Like it's not. It doesn't
Because
look like it's going
the
to.
fix was the actual neck bit, not the actual head bit.
Right.
So I don't know why he's loose. Like I'm gonna go grab mine and see whether he's loose. In 1 minute.
Yeah. I don't know. Is that maybe an interesting thing if I have one of the only faulty ones left? The OG Wally? I don't know.
The OG
I still love it
version
though.
Wally.
Yeah. Oh. His eyes just fell as you said that. Oh. But yeah, it just means that he has to be in a very specific position, otherwise he'll just. Oh my god! It's the only time that I've considered glue for Lego. But no, he is a very cool build. I had to get this one when I realised this was a build that I'd missed out on before I started collecting. Very, very cute. I wonder if is the Wally Brickhead still sold out? That was a really hard one for people to get hold of, wasn't it? After it came out.
Yeah, I'm glad I got that one. Well, I did. I'm back on track. I put a couple of pieces the wrong way around. I admit that.
So yeah, so the head of mine is not that loose. It doesn't spin at all.
Ah.
Yeah, so I can hold him like that and he doesn't fall. Apart from his head doesn't spin though.
He doesn't fall.
Yeah, literally it's just on the ball joints, and it's. Let me just see if I can show you.
Matt, this is a new intro coming right up right now.
I think that ball joint just probably needs to be a bit sturdier with yours. It might just be loose. I think if I play with him more, that will get loose. That one ball joint. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Now he's loose.
Oops. Oh, I can join the Wibbly Wally club.
There we go. It's very dusty.
Oh gosh.
Give him a bit of dust. He's so cute.
Well, yeah, I'll need to maybe just put mine back in his assumed position, because otherwise he'll. I just don't know how you would tighten this. That's the only thing.
I would just get a ball joint, to be fair.
He's just looking at his butt. I need to turn him around. But yeah, no, that's interesting though.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for to get the brickheads. It's just been out of stock forever. It's doing my head in now. I can't actually remember how this works. Oh, it's his front that comes
So
up.
Maxine, is there any sort of other sort of white whale Disney sets that you're looking to try to get a hold of?
Oh, so ones that I've missed out on, or some that are out, or I'm trying to think actually.
More
if
so
there is
some
any
that
out
you've missed out on.
Oh, so the set that I was really after, which I do have now, was the Disney train. That that is just one of the most magical Lego sets I think I've ever seen, and I do have it, but it is just too magical, too epic a build that I'm saving it for when we hopefully move into a bigger place, and I'll build it at Christmas time, and it's going to get motorized around a Christmas tree, and it's all going to be very magical. So I'm saving that one, but that was one that was on my list, and funnily enough, I kind of figured that is going to go right up in price. Trying to get a hold of that retired when they started announcing oh, this Disney castle's about to retire, we're going to bring out another one. And that is exactly what happened. So I managed to grab it for not too much more than the original RRP. I'm trying to think what other sets. Yeah, I still need to get, I really want to complete my CMF series and my brickheads that I don't have. The brickheads in particular are more noticeable because I have them in my case here. And I know exactly what ones I'm missing, but they're just so expensive. So yeah, I need to get Mickey, Minnie, Ursula, Ariel, Jack Sparrow. I think that's it. I think that's the ones that I'm missing. Because if you look them up on eBay and Bricklink, they are the ones that are pretty expensive. And yeah, just all the other figs that I don't have that are from like the kind of Mickey and Friends sets. I've managed to get a couple, but I'm still missing the Castle Defenders ones, the Fire Brigade ones. Carrie has them. They're just so good. Like they couldn't have done them any better. First came out, those two. Yeah. No, they are definitely up there as the you know, nice profits for people that got more than one set. And I that's why I wonder if the Disney 100 ones, the ones that came in the 4 this year, will do the same. Because they were really cool.
I think the Disney in the 4, certainly they will do, you know, well with it. But I think the original ones, like particularly since COVID, there's been a lot more people coming into the hobby as such. So the production numbers on those ones are, you know, much higher, sort of thing.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think. There's obviously still some sets that we don't have yet, but we just have to like carefully budget for.
I've got Jack Sparrow as well. I'm so sorry.
Do you have Ariel and Ursula as well?
I don't know. I didn't collect them all. I collect all the Star Wars ones and all the Harry Potter ones, but I don't collect all the Disney ones. Yeah.
So you don't even have one that you picked up just in case, and you haven't opened it yet, and now you're not really wanting it.
The only ones that I've got spare are, I think I have another Boba Fett somewhere. He's worth a lot of pennies. And I've got a Buzz Lightyear because I picked up 2 for some stupid reason. I don't know why. Oh, and I've got 2 Sand People. I really need to clean down here. This is shocking. This is so bad. I think this would rival Carrie down here.
I need to get the Ice Castle as well, but that's just I don't know. Like, I love Frozen, but I don't know if the Ice Castle is all that impressive. And it's nothing to do with the fact it's a Friends style set. I just don't think it's really doing the Frozen Castle justice, to be honest. I am just waiting in the wings for the announcement of this new Disney Castle that's supposed to come out this year, but I predict that they will tell us more about it on June 1st, because they like to tell us the next sets that are coming out on a release day. So as we're all going into the store buying the villain sets, they're probably going to say, by the way, here comes the next Disney Castle.
Yeah, they'll drop all the pictures on the same day.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to be checking at midnight. I'll be crashing the website, but not to buy Lego, because I like to go to the store. I'll be seeing what the new images maybe are, but we shall see. We do need to sell off some Lego just to budget for these things, though. I've got another cantina in the loft and another Disney Castle.
I'm selling my Stranger Things set, I think.
Oh, I'd better not tell my partner you said that, because he wants that set. What else do we have? We have another big set, a duplicate, but I can't think what it is now. Oh, we have the bowling alley, the Bricklink bowling alley, but we can't seem to shift that. Yeah, so we're trying to sell that one as well.
I'll be selling the Bricklink Winter Chalet as well. I'm not going to go with that.
Oh, that would be a good one for like a winter village.
What are you doing? Get over it. You're not allowed it down.
I really wish they would start doing Disney dioramas, though. I'll put that out there. When I learned that they did that for Star Wars, my first thought was, where are the Disney ones? Like, it seems like such an obvious thing. Why is this not a thing? Yeah. But at the start of the year, was there not like images? I don't know how legit they were, but there was one that was like a Maleficent dragon one that looked like it was supposed to be a diorama. I know I didn't dream this, but that's just gone quiet on that front. They've been very, very hush about the Disney stuff.
Yeah, I think those ones that was at the beginning of the year, they were like they're for next year to begin with, because there was I think it was sort of like the buildable sort of Simba from Lion King as a little sort of pup thing, sort of close to like sort of the Bowser.
Yeah, that did actually look quite good.
Put out to gauge people's interest in this. So if they weren't going to be interested, they probably wouldn't have done them.
Yeah, everyone was scared of Donald though. Donald looked terrifying.
And was there a Stitch one with that as well? I'm just trying to remember. Was that?
Someone sent me a picture of like a Lilo and Stitch thing recently, but again, that looked really terrifying.
There was a Stitch that went through on Lego Ideas, which is really good, but it didn't make it.
Oh, there was a leak today actually of a new Cinderella minifig, which they are saying is for the new castle. So I don't know if that confirms things, but I did that did get circulated today.
I'm not sure I like these mechs for Star Wars.
Yeah, it was funny when you were talking about hating mechs earlier, and it's like, have you seen the Star Wars mech ones which are being announced? Or not? Yeah, announced.
The Fett figure's really good. He's got arm printing and leg printing. And feet printing.
Oh, she's going to change her mind now.
Just going to get my set. Is that the 7 figures out of the one? I can't be bothered. But it looks like a really good figure.
Okay, finally got that.
Darth Vader just looks stupid. And I don't understand why they've done a clone trooper, a stormtrooper.
I love doing this question to people. If everyone had to pick one theme for the rest of their lives that they could only buy, what would it be?
No, Lego Ideas.
Lego Ideas, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good call. I was thinking about that. It's sort of like, because at least you get some variation, because otherwise it's sort of like, okay, if you do the modulars, okay, you get sick of building modulars. Star Wars, I could see that amount of grey could grate on you after a while.
But if you pick ideas, I really like minifigs.
See, I'm not a massive fan of minifigs.
Oh. Then it's the
But
perfect
some of them,
thing
like
for
that
you.
Starry Night had obviously a Van Gogh
wow.
minifig. Flintstones car, Yellow Submarine for the Beatles.
Yeah.
Back to the Future, so there have been some, yeah.
Most of them have got a minifigure, to be fair. There's Winnie the Pooh, there's the Blacksmith, and they've all got minifigures. There's not a lot that hasn't, apart from, say, the Ulysses. I'm looking at it. Come on, big ship, big sugar.
Saturn 5.
Saturn 5, yeah. Oh my god. The birds haven't got minifigures.
The foosball table had minifigures.
Oh yeah.
Had lots of minifigures. Oh, I tell you what. Have you, Bonnie? Have you got the Steamboat Willie?
No. That is one. There's another one, Matt, for your earlier question. I need to get that one as well.
That one as well.
Mesh in a bottle's got no minifigure. But yeah, there's not many that haven't got minifigures.
I think somebody gave me Steamboat Willie, and I just went, nah, it's not really for me, and I think I gave it away in the end.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Maybe check, Matt, please.
I wish I got 2 of those. I wish I got 2 of all my idea sets. I don't know why I don't do that.
Snow Rains just popped up there. Did someone say Saturn 5? Yes, we did.
Was that?
Good morning, Snow Lady. Hope you're going well. I think we're just coming up on the 3-hour mark, so I think might just start winding it down, go through and see what people are building, how far they've gotten, and then any sort of videos or any of your content you want to give a bit of a plug to. Everyone looks deep in thought doing stuff, so maybe I'll start off with Nicole looked up, so guilty.
Yeah.
It's
a bit like in
how
school. How
are you getting with the Transformer?
I'm just trying to go all
Transformer
the way back
monkey.
where they advertise this Disney stuff. I can't find it.
I'm making progress. He looks a bit like naked, and it feels a bit as if I have to shelter his private parts. Yeah, but I think I like him very, very much. The golden parts, the gold. How do you call it? It's not lacquered.
Yeah, lacquered it might be, or drum lacquered.
Yeah. Drum lacquered, right? I think I like it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he's really, really pretty. Yeah.
It's funny seeing him at that stage a little bit earlier, because he just felt like really sort of emancipated, like there's not much meat on the bones sort of thing.
Right. And the longer that it's really like, okay, I should. Yeah. Like, okay, that's now R-rated, the stream.
Oh,
yeah.
Gone after midnight.
Right. Now it's safe. All children are gone to bed. Yeah. But I will have to check. I hope that I can make a few videos and then maybe a live stream, fingers crossed, either this Saturday or next Saturday. And then if everything works out, then I really can kick it off. Yeah. If anyone knows of someone who does freelance work of creating frameworks, or I'm not even sure what the term is for YouTube channels, to have something fancy, colorful, like
overlays,
that one. Yeah. Then,
Yeah.
because I'm not creative at all. Yeah. Please tell me.
Okay.
I bring money, you bring creativity. Call me.
If there's someone in the Lego community, do them like a Lego trade or something.
That would be amazing.
Cool, excellent. Go along to Kerry. How far did you get with what you're up to, and what have you got coming up? Shows, anything like that?
I built him.
Cool.
Yes, just shattered my Great Hall that's underneath the TV. I won't have mine. I was actually just Googling trying to find those Disney leaks, and I found them. So it's like buildable Simba, with Simba is 30 centimeters high, 16 centimeters wide, and 25 centimeters deep, and he's built in this seating position. We've not heard anything about that, but these are from February.
Yeah.
And then Maleficent, 1,250 pieces, diorama with black border and a tile printed with a quote. Includes a fight between Prince Philip and Maleficent in a dragon form. A dragon can be removed from the diorama. Then there's also Donald Duck, 1,000 pieces, brick built. So I've not seen any of these, so we don't know whether these are going to happen, do we? And then Snow White's cottage.
Ah, yes.
So we shall see. what have I got coming up? At the minute, nothing. I will be probably streaming on Monday next week, as it's our works due on Tuesday, so they're ruining my plans for me. And I've got to attend, because, you know, don't really want to, but still. So I probably will be streaming on Monday evening at 7 o'clock, and I will be building... what was it? 1 minute. I won't be building that. I will be building Boosh. Which is also down there. Because I don't want to build this one until I've got Rex. And he's not, I haven't got him yet. So, where is it? Oh, it's all the way down there, so I can't get down there. But I'll be building Princess Leia's Boosh on Monday. Okay.
Oh, cool. Excellent. All right. And, yeah, always great to have you in. So thanks for joining after you sort of finished your work. I appreciate that.
Just not putting on the clothes, so I can actually come earlier.
Normally, I just listen for, like, you know, where it does that little ping.
Yeah.
And obviously, I didn't hear that, and then got very scared. So
I'd literally not. I'd literally only just come in. When you put
Okay.
hi on that, I've just been there. I'm like, I'm just going to wind him up. I've been here for ages. It's because funny. Everybody in chat was telling him a couple of weeks ago that I was there. I told him on the private chat that I was here, and I'm like, he's just not going to let me in, is he? And I was there for about half an hour, 45 minutes, and then somebody, everybody was like, and in the end it was like, Matt, Kerry's in the green room. No, she's not. I'm like, I am. I'm literally here.
Because what it is because I'm using a smaller screen, you have the people across the bottom, but if there's not enough space, then it goes down. And because that part then has a scroll bar down the side, it's sort of like couldn't see it. And anyhow, so at least that's my story, kind of. And so, okay, great. Yep. All right then. And going across to Trevor, how did you save the trash compactor, and what's coming up from you?
This side isn't complete, but just to show you how it does work. So I've got a lot more to build on that side, because it should look like that. And then push them together.
Crush them all in. Nice.
Push them all in.
I just like how they've used like droid parts to make all that. It's great.
Yeah. So everything
you
just
what,
crunches up.
I did that on the live and it was not fun. There's too many little bits.
Yeah, it is quite fiddly. Like I say, I've got a lot more to do on this wall, and then that wall's finished. That particular one. So yeah, it's a nice build, but like you say, there's a lot of intricate parts on it. But yeah, it's an enjoyable one. I do like the dioramas. In terms of the channel, I've got. Well, I think it's one of my most. You know, I do these cinematic, give a cinematic feel to the speed build. I've got one that will come on Saturday, I think, of the Emperor's Throne Room, and it's give it a bit of a cinematic feel to it.
Very cool.
See, me who doesn't collect Star Wars, I'm going to get that, definitely.
Got some really good parts usage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I say, when you've got the light coming through.
Carrie, you know, on Amazon Germany, it's 77 euros.
Don't talk to me about that Amazon Germany that keeps discounting everything. It's very annoying. You know, we still haven't had the banners discounted over here yet. The banners. I hadn't got them yet because I was going to get one discount. It's ridiculous.
That I haven't seen yet, but that diorama and the chase costs 59 euros at the moment. The TIE Fighter I got for 77 euros.
The only thing I'm not keen on this set is here. See here, there's the gap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On both sides. I just wish that Lego would have done something. I mean, you guys are better than me. You could probably come up with an idea of just closing that off so it looks a bit like that all the way through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can see all the way through.
Right.
So that's my only gripe about this set, but it's a lovely set again. I do like these dioramas, and when they're all together on a shelf, they do look spectacular.
Right.
So look out for that. There's a video, like I say, coming on Saturday. It's a bit of a cinematic feel, so I really enjoyed doing this one. And I got back on doing the Up House, the stop motion. I must admit, I gave it 2 weeks break because I don't know about any of you, but when I find something frustrating, even though I know I enjoy it, I'll walk away from it. So I left it for 2 weeks. I've come back to it, and now I'm on the part where I'm just putting the balloons on. So that will come hopefully in the next couple of weeks, but that has taken months. And it's for about 2.5 minutes worth of film I've worked out. So, but yeah, I've enjoyed doing it. So, and hopefully it's well received. So yeah,
we look forward to those. And did ones come off there? That's particularly the Star Wars one. Have that released, and when the Up House comes out as well. And okay, moving along to Maxine. How did you get on with your Mando build head?
So actually quite well. I'm on the last bag. I think helmets are quite a good build for a stream. He's got half a face. So he's looking good this way, but he still has his innards showing that side. So it's looking really good. Yeah, quite happy with it. I do remember, like, when I heard that they do helmets, my biggest gripe is that they're not like head size, because I would want to put them on. And they're not like hollow. So Lego are missing a trick there, but yeah, really no, I think it's. I know it's crazy. I just don't know. What was a given, but maybe it would just fall apart too easily. But no, it's looking good. I'm really happy with it. So that'll go up with our. Who do we have? We have Captain Rex and we have Commander Cody as well. So he'll go up there as well. We're just gutted that we never got the Boba Fett one. We missed that one, and now it's far too expensive. So. I think I'll get it finished tonight, though. I'll get it finished after stream as well.
After the stream, keep going. It's been brilliant having you on. And what's sort of coming up on your channel, any content-wise or anything like that?
Oh, what is not coming up is probably the better question. So I always post at least once a week. Lately, I've been posting a little bit more. But this week, I've been concentrating on some reviews because I've been sent... I've been very lucky. I've been sent some stuff to review, which means I get it for free, which is saving a lot of money. So I've got a lot of light kits to review. And I was very fortunate. The company that got in touch said, "You did a great review for the Up House. What other ones would you like to do?" So I actually got free reign to pick. So I've got 2 very big, magical, fantastical sets to do. One of them we have done. It's actually, well, you can't see the reflection, so it's not really giving it away. But yeah, so I'll be uploading a review for that on Sunday, and the other one will follow. And then there's another one actually as well. So there's a Star Wars one, a Disney one, and a fantastical one. So I'm really looking forward to that because I'm new to light kits, and I just think actually they just add a whole other dimension to Lego displays, and I just can't wait for everyone to see them because I'm so excited. And I also have a live stream on the 1st of June because I'll be going to the Lego store to buy the new Disney sets and I'll be building them live. So I'm very excited because I've got my whole new setup. I did a video not too long ago about buying some new computer setup and streaming equipment and my fancy headset. So yeah, I'll be doing that
jealous.
As well. And I might also be buying the new 2K game that's coming out, but the jury's still out on that one, whether we're going to buy that. So I might stream me trying to attempt to play that, which will be quite funny, I think. So you can maybe look out for that as well, if you decide to stream that and come along literally for the ride, because it is a racing game.
Excellent. Yeah, we didn't get to talk about 2K tonight, because I think, was it released today or yesterday?
It's tomorrow.
What is 2K?
Or is it tomorrow?
It's
the
tomorrow.
racing game, Lego racing game, Kerry.
Okay. No.
Yeah.
I think you're safe.
Yeah.
I have just checked Captain Rex is 25% off on Amazon, so I think I might be pressing buy on that.
Is that
Where's that,
Amazon?
sorry? What was that for? Sorry. Where's that?
Captain Rex is 25% off on Amazon.
You see, that's another. I do like the helmets, but it's another one of those like, if I buy one, I want the rest. I've tried to avoid them. I do like them.
Look for the TIE Fighter pilot, because that one retired early, and most people slept on it, and it is ridiculously expensive now. So if you look at that, you go, oh well, I can't be completionist, so I won't start.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where it's hard when you hear people saying, don't do the whole FOMO thing, like fear of missing out, like don't worry about that. But it does happen. Like you will miss things, like the Boba Fett helmet. So
I missed out on. I didn't get the probe droid because I was like, oh, he's not an helmet, but I tell you what, that's made. But I really wish I got the probe droid, and I missed out on that, and I can't find him anywhere.
Some of them just disappear so fast, and you're like, oh, too late.
Too late for it. So, okay, brilliant. And just for me, I was working on the Dagobah, and I got to the point of doing the 177 tiles and realizing that was after doing the 39 studs, and then realized that I'd only put 37 in and had to go back and figure out which ones were wrong. So that wasn't fun. So you can imagine trying to get them out.
I can imagine.
That one is a bit of a nightmare. That you have to concentrate on that. Yeah.
I actually did. Yeah, I did finish it on Greg Stream. It's only 2 hours. Come on.
Yeah, try to do it.
Who's
doing a stream and
you or Greg?
So, for me, Saturday it will be the latest top 5 most expensive sets. I think it's 2013. So I'll need to put that together and everything. And then next week back to the live stream again. So I think that is most things covered off. Thanks very much for everyone who joined in tonight. I think still at the poll somewhere here if I can ever figure this out. Just looking at it, we had which would you rather buy, the Batman Batcave or the Ninjago City Markets? And sort of one because you've got, I think, is it roughly the same number of pieces? No, anyhow, whatever. So you had 15% of people wanted to do the Batcave, and 86% of people wanted to do the Ninjago City Markets. So I think, the Markets one obviously is strongly preferred. What else? Close that off there. Just a shout out to the people who are in the chat today. Spud Sidious, the Mega Man, Ben's Bricks, Breath Build, Brick Askew, Birds, Bossman, KO, Andy Seston, Minifig Who, Brickbod, Kerry to get into the stream. And I think that's got most things, the usual sort of things. Share, like, and subscribe. Everyone's details are also around the video, so make sure you go and check them out and their channels. And I think most people are also on Instagram as well. And I think that's covered most things. Thanks very much to everyone who came along tonight. Trevor's videos, thanks for that. Lady McBrick, always good to see you. Kerry, good to see you. And hopefully you didn't spend too long in the green room. And Maxine Bonnie's Bricks, great to have you along, and hope that you've enjoyed and able to get through your Boba Fett. No, not Boba Fett, the Mandalorian helmet. Yeah, it's late. So with that, did anybody else have any last minute things that they remembered that they should have said and they haven't said?
Oh, I'll just say one thing. Have you noticed Bonnie's Bricks that he doesn't say my Lego name, Brickapix, because he might have an accident?
Oh, something about pick a brick.
That and things. So he just goes, he says, Lady McBrick, Kerry.
The thing is with you always joining late, I don't think you've ever seen the intro, so it might be something to go back and have a look at some stage.
I saw it last week. Whilst I was in the hot tub.
Fair enough then. Cool.
Oh yeah, that's
alright,
right.
well, I
Matt
think
read a
that's-
message, didn't you, Matt? You read a message, didn't you? And you wish you'd have read it first.
Yeah.
Oh. Yes. The joys of doing things live. Cool. Alrighty then. Thanks everyone. And we'll do it all again next week. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.
Mr. Bigger, give me a super duper.
In case I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.